charts. Every number one for 83 in the press. Ow! Every number one on the orange owl. Every number one for 83 in the press. Every number one on the orange charts. Every number one for 83 in the press. Ow! Every number one on the orange charts. Every number one for 83 in the press. And every 3 in the press. Wow! Yowza!
Hello, I'm Ben.
Hello, I'm Tom.
And you're listening to Sunglasses at Night podcast. The year is 2011.
It sure is. This is the podcast where we whack on our time Ray-Bans and travel back to a year in the past, 2011 in this case, and have a look at it through the lens of what was number one on the ARIA charts that year, and ask what the fuck was going on.
Exactly, that's right. 2011. It seems so long ago, yet so recent at the same time, doesn't it?
It sure does. Yeah, I mean, you know, in some ways, some people might say it was 11 years ago. Those people would be cruel.
Yeah, look.
They would also probably point out how old and fat I am. But
look, it's unfair.
I choose to ignore those people.
Yeah, exactly right. Look, it's a great year in terms of culture, what I'm learning, just from off the back of these songs. Usually, you know, we like to shit on a lot of the songs, Tom, but there's not a bad one amongst them this year, from, as far as I can tell. They all look very, very good.
A lot of great, big, huge number ones.
Oh, for sure.
Year. Some years you just get little fragments all year, but this was a year of big hits.
One of my favourite years for some time, Tom, but not just in music. Can you tell me anything that was going on in the world,
sure,
be it the big films, other cultural touchstones,
sure,
you know, current events, what was going on? What was going on? What was happening?
Well, if you cast your mind back 11 whole years ago, seems like yesterday, but tsunami off the coast of Japan hit Iwate Prefecture with 130-foot high waves and led to a meltdown of the Fukushima reactor. 16,000 people are estimated to have died, 3,000 went missing, and Japan's love affair with all things nuclear came to an end.
Oh, no.
It's a shame, because up till then they'd been the best of friends.
They had been, yeah. I think some parts of Fukushima Prefecture are still annexed off, like you can't go there, even to this day.
They got a bit Chernobyl.
Yeah, it did.
It was pretty grim. On slightly more fun note, the Arab Spring took place.
Oh, that was fun.
The world's first social media facilitated international revolution.
Yep.
And not a brand of mineral water, as I had first thought. Gaddafi got the old dictator heave-ho, that's gruesome death on cell phone camera.
Yeah.
And fighting began in Syria that the West would guide to a peaceful end. Just kidding, we let Assad use chemical weapons on its own people and let Russia bomb anyone they felt like. Apparently we're okay with that now.
Yep.
On a slightly more positive note, Osama bin Laden got the Gaddafi treatment as well when he was finally caught and killed in Pakistan.
Yep.
In pop culture news, his home was found to contain a huge collection of Western movies and music.
Yep.
A recent reading by bin Laden's former live-in girlfriend, Cola Boof. Great name.
Is that Shia LaBeouf?
It's just spelled Boof as in B-O-O-F.
Oh, good.
Like the football player of legend. From her new book, Diary of a Lost Girl, shed some light on the sort of music bin Laden had on his iPod. Boof wrote that bin Laden would become this devout party boy who wanted to hear Van Halen or some B-52s.
Sweet.
The songs still haunt her. To this day, I still hear the song Rock Lobster in my sleep, she wrote.
Jesus Christ.
The artist with the most 5-star ratings on his iPod would surely be Whitney Houston. He said that he had a paramount desire for Whitney Houston, and although he claimed music was evil, he spoke of someday spending vast amounts of money to go to America and try to arrange a meeting with the superstar.
Wow.
Around about this time, it probably would have been a bit easier to do that than it would have been 5 years ago.
Yeah.
If he was willing to bring some of the local flora with him along the way. But anyway, apparently his favourite American TV shows were The Wonder Years, Miami Vice, and MacGyver.
Good. A man with taste.
Yeah. According to recently declassified Navy SEAL documents, when the compound was breached, bin Laden was cranking the Bodyguard soundtrack while trying to fashion a copy of the Quran, 2 burqas and a clothes horse into an escape hang glider. When confronted, he reached for a PVC spud cannon and was shot through the tea towel to the mournful strains of I'm Every Woman. It's a tough way to go, you know.
Absolutely. Look, the thing about that is that it's just lucky for Whitney Houston that it's sort of it was sort of someone that had a bit of distance from her in the sense that if you're, say, a South Korean pop star and Kim Jong-il was like, I'm a big fan of her, there's a very real chance he'd be abducted.
That's
It
true.
just sort of send someone over, give you some drugs. Next thing you know, you're in the old hermit kingdom,
That's
and you're
right.
there forever. Just whereas at least with Whitney, Obama, Osama
his
bin Laden
reach did not extend that far.
no, he wasn't able to just go and kidnap. He probably could have got Bobby Brown, I think, on the right day and the right drugs, I think. Because, they do have a lot of heroin handy, sort of in neighbouring Afghanistan.
Well, I mean, if you look it up, they don't like to publicise this much, but your big bands, especially your big sort of classic rock bands, your Eagles, the Rolling Stones, etc., nearly all of them have several low-key performances that they have done for just incredibly rich, weird foreigners or Saudi princes or dubious Eastern European warlords and so forth who've just said, we'll give you $1 million if you play for my son's Bucks night or something.
Exactly right.
I'll just I'll fly you here on a private plane. You play one night, you go home. We'll give you $1 million. I mean,
what's wrong with that? Oh, that they're a killer.
They have war crimes.
Yeah, look, I kind of wish.
This is what I mean. They don't publicise this too much, but it does happen.
Look, I really wish that Osama bin Laden was alive today, just because I feel like he's one person that could settle the debate once and for all. Who was the better Van Halen frontman? David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar? I think that Bin Laden, if he came in and said, I'm a DLR man, I think everyone would be like, okay, that settles that then. He's, basically one of the most famous people around, infamous. He says DLR, it's DLR all the way. But look, we'll never know, I guess.
In movie news, the top 10 films of the year were... we finally got over the stupid bloody sequels thing that plagued the aughts.
Good.
And got into some more original territory. They are coming down. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. It's a sequel to a sequel. Transformers Dark of the Moon.
Yep.
Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. Kung Fu Panda 2.
Good.
Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 1.
Yep.
Fast and the Furious 5. The Hangover Part 2.
Yep.
The Smurfs.
Oh, there's an original one. It's the first part of something.
Cars 2 and the forgotten 3D cartoon Rio. It's about two parrots that fell in love. So that's a 20% original movies rate there.
And even
of
one
those
of
two,
them
yes,
is the Smurfs.
one of them is a fucking 40-year-old cartoon from Belgium.
Really? I just thought they knocked that out, the year before. Wasn't that the original idea? No,
The only reason I bring this up is because, once again, I have to say, I dare you to name a single song from any of those films.
There's no song.
It's just the era of the film songs has just been and gone.
So Hollywood's been dog shit for some time then, Tom. It's not a recent phenomenon. Right? Let's sort of look at what's out of the movies.
It doesn't mean they don't produce anything
superheroes.
good. It just means that the shit that the public turns out to see, is
Yeah, exactly right.
is weird. I mean, and then you think, well, maybe it's because of what people want to watch in China, but then you have to ask yourself, is China really into fucking...
The Smurfs? They love it.
Hangover Part 2,
I doubt it.
Fast and the Furious 5, maybe they are.
Maybe they love the Fast and the Furious franchise. I think they do. Big Vin Diesel fans, I hear, over in China. So is that what we're going to find out when Xi Jinping dies, that he was a huge Vin Diesel fan? Like someone's going to crack open the old safe and it's just going to be a Fast and the Furious box set, Chronicles of Riddick just there. He's going to love all that. So
The only one I could think of from any of those was Dark Side of the Moon, the one that had what was it, Linkin Park in it?
Oh, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'll have to have a look at Linkin Park.
It came up earlier on one of the earlier episodes. It was their big one of their big movie hits.
Yep. Good.
I mean, it could have been Limp Bizkit. They're basically interchangeable.
They are, absolutely.
All right, well, that's enough about fucking movies.
Moving
how
on to the
about
tunes.
the tunes?
Fantastic. 2011, first number one for the year, Tom, for 1 week. It's, it's Grenade. Bruno Mars.
Sure, we talked
about that last week.
Yes.
It's back. Someone said we need more of that shit. You may recall at the very end of last year, Guy Sebastian, Who's That Girl?
Yep.
So Bruno's back for another week. People went, we need more of that shit. Anything else you need to say about Bruno or this song?
Which chick would you jump on a grenade for, Ben? Proclaiming that he would do in that song.
Probably Alyssa Milano, I think.
Sort of Charmed era.
Charmed
Alyssa
era.
Milano,
Yeah, I'd say so. Not Who's the Boss era. That's obviously sort of creep. That's sort of Jeffrey Epstein territory.
I don't think I ever watched an entire episode of Charmed, but every time I would switch past it, it would seem to involve, especially towards the later years,
Yep.
and there were years of Charmed, it seemed to involve Alyssa Milano being magically forced into an increasingly revealing series of outfits.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember a friend of mine, she would say you'd watch the first 3 minutes and you'd know whether it was a boob tube episode, a midriff episode, or that, like, all of them would either have to wear a midriff revealing top, like a boob tube, or some sort of cleavage thing. It was one of those sort of things. So she's like, oh, looks like it's a midriff episode this week. So, and
then they brought in what was her name? Ex-girlfriend of Marilyn Manson.
Oh yeah,
famed Weinstein victim, just to bulk up the hotness of it, you know.
Yeah, definitely. They got rid of that chick that was on like. Did they get rid of Shannon Doherty? I think she had to. She was out.
Might have been.
And then they got in that other chick. Yeah.
Anyway,
for sure. What about you, Tom? Who would you jump on a grenade for?
Alyssa Milano.
Yeah, definitely, of course.
I'll think about it. I'll get back to you.
Yep.
I'm sure Bruno Mars has got a few takers.
Oh, no doubt. So that was just for 1 week. Fortunately, we've already touched on that. So up next, the first new song of the year. Oh, actually, no, fuck. It's Guy Sebastian again with Who's That Girl?
Oh, he's
back for another week. Fucking oath. Jesus. So it's that old Bruno Guy. It's the Bruno Mars Guy Sebastian battle of 2010-11 that no one really talks about these days. But they were fighting head to head. Who's he? You know, people would turn on the TV. Who's he going to be this week? Bruno or Guy? Bruno or Guy? Back and forth. So 17th of Jan, we finally. Sorry, you don't have anything else to say about that Guy Sebastian?
No. We talked about them all last week.
All right, first new song of the year, is it? Yes, it is. Winter Gordon, Tom, with Dirty Talk. Wow.
A racy start to the year.
Absolutely. Now, Winter Gordon, if you're unfamiliar with her work, and I certainly wasn't, to tell you the truth, Tom, Winter's spelt Wynter. So if you're jumping onto Google to find out a bit more about Winter Gordon, make sure you do that, because otherwise you may just end up on a Wikipedia page about the season winter. You'll be like, oh, what? There's nothing about any pop stars in here whatsoever. You'll be wasting your time. So look, first new number one for 2011. As I said, haven't heard this before in my life. I'm not sure how I missed this at the time.
No, me too.
It's it is. I'm going to class this, Tom, as Rihanna light Eurodance pop action. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah.
Really channeling some of that sexy Rihanna Eurodance work that she was doing at the time. So she's certainly feeling that. Now, the song itself, Tom, it's called Dirty Talk. So we've got Dirty Talk on there.
Yep.
Not only does Winter want dirty talk, i.e. Winter can talk dirty.
Yeah.
She also is happy to be spoken to in a dirty manner. There's a bit of that two-way dirty talk. But she also advises the listener through the lyrics that she's no angel and wants them to do some dirty things to her. That's effectively the lyrics here. So then she proceeds to list all the dirty things that she wants done to her. That makes up the lyrics of this song, effectively. So, look, some are more sensual, champagne in a bubble bath. Is that dirty per se? I wouldn't say so. It's like
no.
Whereas exactly. Champagne in the bubble bath. That's just a Wednesday night. Whereas tag team suggests she wants to be banged by several dudes at the same time.
Yes.
Which you would say fits into the dirty category. So some of the things are less dirty than others. So they're not the same thing though. If she rings you up and says, "Hey, you want to come over tonight?" I thought might run a bubble bath. I've got some champagne in the fridge. Versus, "Hey, you want to come over tonight? I thought we could bang, and I've invited 3-4 other dudes over as well to bang me also." It's sort of like, the first one, like, that sounds good. The other one sort of,
I know what
that's
you mean.
weird as hell.
Like, she also mentions, for instance, cherry popping.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, that's not really the kind of thing you can idly recreate anytime you want to while trying to rekindle the magic. Unless she means, like, role-playing where you both lose 15 kilos, draw acne on each other with a red Sharpie, and then have weird half-clothed sex in a room next door to your parents or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know if that's a fetish that people are
It clearly is, because it's listed
unless
in this.
she is actually a virgin still. And this
Yeah,
is,
maybe. Maybe,
who knows?
that's
or
true.
maybe she's on the hunt for 15-year-olds.
She might be,
You know.
Madonna style. She
Madonna
might be
style.
exactly right. We don't.
Well,
we
according to
never know.
Madonna, it was great, except he gave her crabs.
He did give her
apparently.
crabs, yeah,
So
exactly.
this is one of those incredibly experienced virgins with crabs that
Yeah.
you hear about.
Yeah. So look, Tom, I thought we'd go through the lyrics. She
Sure.
mentions all the shit in there. You can advise me whether they fit into the dirty category or not. Kitten heels. They're just like
Just
high
ugly
heels.
shoes.
Yeah.
They're not even high heels, they're low heels.
Low heel,
They
yeah,
look
that's what I was.
stupid,
Yeah, they're like a low heel, so that's clearly not dirty. Lingerie, that's pretty stock standard, isn't it?
I mean,
Par for the
sure.
course. Pantyhose,
That's not even.
this is a work attire in the winter.
kinky, really.
Foreplay,
I mean,
no,
you'd hope
it's
so. Unless
fine.
you're bloody Teo Cruz.
legs up on the bar. Now, I mean, I need more information, but if she's at the bar and she's got her legs up on the bar and some dude's eating her out on the bar, then yeah, that's dirty.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say,
Especially if the bar's open at the time.
oh, exactly right. In the back
Or
of
it's a
your
milk
car,
bar. I mean, milk bar would be.
Yeah.
That'd be fairly kinky.
yeah, I think so as well. Dicking in the back of the car,
Eh.
yeah. Latex, I don't know,
Sure.
maybe.
I mean, if you're fully covered in it, yes.
Yeah.
If it's a condom, then
No,
not
that's
really.
that's fine. It's just safe sex, isn't it? Champagne, no, that's not. That's
Yeah.
regular. Bubble bath, regular. Whipped cream. If it's on a dessert, that's fine. If she's got one of those cans in America, she's sticking it up her asshole. Perhaps that's dirty.
Sure.
Cherry pop, as you said. Was it cherry poppin' or cherry? I don't know. Cherry pop? Is it? Is
Well,
it like,
it's the same, isn't it, really?
well, I didn't know whether she meant like sort of a cherry Coca-Cola type beverage, just pumping one of those out in the kids. It's like, oh, I've got some bubble bath, and I've got some champagne. And the dude's like, oh, I don't drink, and it's like, oh, I've got this cherry cola. I wasn't sure. Tag team, clearly, 5 dudes on Winter Gordon is dirty. Blindfold,
I mean, sort of. It's a
Yeah.
little bit kinky.
feather bed.
That's not kinky at all.
No.
It's just a
Tickle me, no. Slippery, maybe. Is it like you mean it's like a Bon Jovi slippery when wet type situation?
I mean, if sex isn't slippery at all, then I would say, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, exactly. G spot, sure. Nasty pose in a video, so she's making a porno.
Oh, okay.
Is she?
Yeah. If
Okay.
it's not a music video,
No,
then yes.
that's dirty.
Sure.
Love Machine by myself. So she's got that Rihanna dildo that we've spoken about. She's working that on herself. That could be dirty. Climax.
It's not dirty.
No. Hot wax.
Sure. I mean, as seen in the Madonna film Body of
Yep.
Evidence, dripped sexually all over fucking world
Yeah.
stallion Willem Dafoe, the guy the ladies all want to see
That's true.
the naked torso
Yep.
of.
S&M on the floor. Yeah, I guess the floor of where? Food court, certainly dirty.
I would have thought S&M on the wall would be
Yeah.
even kinkier, but sure.
And then she just says, I like it hardcore, which is like, fair
Sure.
enough. So look, I think the dirty ratio there, it's what, less than 50%.
I know. Not many people know this, but there is an extended mix available on the Japanese import CD that has an extra verse where she fills in some blanks there.
Okay, finally.
Arseless jorts, water sports, scat porn, Red Dawn. I think she just likes watching Red Dawn.
Yeah.
Live sheep crotching, Gary watching, Screaming Eagle, Adventurous Beagle, Glass Top Table, Auntie Mabel, Toilet Stalls, Stomping on Your Balls, Incest, Necro, Whips and Chains, Pregnant Ladies with Menstrual Pains.
Okay.
I think it was at that point that the management of the band Mr. Bungle got involved and they decided to cut the song down a bit just in case they sued them. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, it's good to know that she sort of ramped up the dirty component there, because the first bit was just like bubble bath and
I hate
fucking
it when
cherry
artists
cola.
get censored, and
Oh,
their
exactly.
vision is forced to be toned down.
Yeah. So look, we know that she likes it dirty. Clearly, it's the name of the song. But what else do we know about Winter Gordon outside of that? Well, look, she started writing songs for other people.
Ah, yep.
That was her into the industry, including some industry heavyweights. Flow Rider,
Ah, yep.
friend of the podcast. That was her international breakthrough, featuring on the track Sugar, which reached the top 10 in many countries.
Ah, okay.
But only number 20 in Australia. We didn't care for it for some reason. And she also worked with David Guetta and Jennifer Lopez, writing songs for those guys.
Ah, okay.
So she penned some hits.
Yep.
as people tend to do. And then she said, fuck this, I want to be not only the songwriter, but I want to be the person performing it, get a bit of that fame myself.
Sure.
So she did one album, her one and only album, which was called With the Music I Die. Very dramatic. But don't worry, she hasn't died with the music. She's just gone back to writing for other artists, Tom. So Beyonce, and she's released a few singles and EPs over the years. So yeah, she's a one-hit wonder, I guess, technically in terms of her solo output, but she still writes for other people, and she's probably said, you know what, happy to just take a back seat, write the songs, let that royalty money come on in, and I'm good to go. So
yeah, I mean, judging from the video, like, to this, anyway, she's got sort of... She's a very attractive young woman, but, like, she doesn't seem to have that kind of X Factor.
She doesn't have the X
quality.
Factor, no. And if she had have gone on the X Factor, they would have said to her, you don't have that X Factor.
Oh, on the X Factor, she would
had
have
the X Factor, yeah.
You know, they'd go, you're a professional, what are you doing on here? You could actually get a job, so go and do that instead of this shit.
That's true. Look, I think a part of this is the Holly Valance effect, Tom, where, as you recall, Holly Valance got her cans out and went all in on the first single, and she had nowhere else to go with the laser lights. You know, I think with this, like... Winter Gordon, she's talked about how dirty she is. She's laid it all out on the table, and people went, I know everything about this woman now. There's nothing else I could, you know, whatever song she did after that, people are just like thinking, no, she just likes getting double teamed in the spa. So
it's a risky throw of the dice, isn't
it?
it
Is. She rolled the dice, and that's it. But look, she's still writing for Beyonce, good to go.
Oh, sure.
She explained in an interview that her lyrics are a product, the lyrics to this song, a product of her and her co-writer just, quote, goofing off in the studio.
Sure.
So it came about when a friend and I were in the studio, just joking, laughing, pulling up words on the computer from different sites. What sites exactly? I'm not really sure. It was meant to be more of a joke than a real song. Just happened to come out great.
Sure.
Yeah, so there you go. For the UK release of the song, some of the lyrics were re-recorded due to the song's sexual nature being deemed too rude for daytime listening and viewing. Only this version of the single has been used for radio play and music channels. So there you go. The UK just went, I'm sorry, this is too much. You're going to have to tone this down a bit. So
weird standards in the UK. They're a bit all over the place. You know, they're fine with some stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. So look, anyway, you come out talking about how you like it hardcore. The UK is going to be like, no, we don't want any part of that. We're going to have something else. Music video, kind of a bit uninspiring. It's just a white background with Winter Gordon in a series of different outfits.
Yeah, it's pretty dull.
Yep.
I mean, and similarly, the song isn't as interesting or as sexy as the lyrics would suggest.
No.
Really, it's just a sort of basic, inoffensive 2011 club track.
Yeah.
Like you say, I mean, it's the sort of 2011 Eurodance equivalent. I mean, that said, it could be a lot worse. Like, there's no auto-tune that I could detect.
No.
Air horns, there's no will.i.am narrating the latest leg in his 15 years late ecstasy journey. I mean, I'd probably dance to this if it came on. Like, I don't think it's terrible. It's just sort of...
No, it's not terrible. It's just sort of, unfortunately...
Unremarkable.
When you're going for a sort of Rihanna vibe...
and you've got these white-hot, sexy lyrics about all, you know, how you like the whole of Boys to Men to, you know, run a train on you in a bubble bath, then you've got this kind of slightly bland... thing, like,
for sure, there's just better tracks in this style out there, I think. So that's all we're going to hear about Winter. What about the lyrical spotlight, or have we got that covered?
I think we covered it pretty well.
Fair enough.
That deleted verse. I would have been interested to compare the original and the UK. I'm guessing the one we watched was the original pre-UK, but who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. It had all the dirty shit in there, I think, so I'm not sure. But anyway, so thanks, Winter, for your contribution to the podcast. Maybe we'll hear from you again. I'm not sure. I'll keep my eyes peeled for any Beyonce tracks that may have a writing credit for you on there.
It's a name that sticks in your head.
Yeah, absolutely right. So get back to the old bubble bath. And
sure, so that was 3 weeks. Who have we got up next?
Well, up next, speaking of that song being Rihanna Light...
I forgot to ask about bloody Spotify and stuff.
Oh, geez, that's a good question. We
don't have to do that this week. If you don't have the figures, it's all right.
I actually don't. I don't have the winner
No,
figures.
that's fine.
But
That's all right.
I assume they're low compared to the other ones.
No, all right. Who have we got next? Sorry, man.
But the problem with that is we are getting to that point where these CD singles are worth extremely large sums of money. So
Yeah.
look, maybe I can look into that in a second. But look, up next we've got not the poor man's Rihanna. We've got the actual Rihanna with her song Tom S&M.
Oh, yeah, this was one of her big hits.
Yeah.
Now, in my memory, I remembered this being off her edgy bloody Rated R album, because it makes sense that it would be, but it's not.
No.
This is not off that. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So, look, good to see Rihanna getting in on a bit of S&M, the old symphony in Metallica. So, I assume that's what this song's about. Is that correct?
I was hoping that, and then I remembered that I didn't like that album at all. And
No, it's terrible.
Then I downgraded my expectations and was pleasantly surprised.
Exactly right. So, no, it's not Rihanna doing her tribute to Metallica, fortunately. It is an actual song that she's written and done herself. And, well, when I say written herself, I think written in collaboration with other people. But look, as we mentioned last week, the best art, Tom, is always ambiguous. So, you know, we looked at last week and we were able to ascertain Rude Boy. We didn't know. When we got to the end of our discussion, we weren't sure whether Rude Boy was a song about Rihanna seeking a man that was, you know, both able to sustain an erection and sustain an erection of a size that was able to satisfy her, or whether it was a song about Rihanna seeking a man that was open to being anally penetrated by Rihanna wearing a strap-on dildo. We just weren't sure.
No.
We thought about it, we discussed it, we didn't know. And the best art, as we say, is always ambiguous. And the same can be said with this week's Rihanna entry. Ambiguous, all the same. Is this a song about literal S&M, or is it more of a metaphorical song about her love-hate relationship with the media, particularly the music media?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting question. I was going to pose you a question, you know, just in return. Speaking of ambiguity, is the reason that this song works quite well because it sounds very similar to several other songs. Particularly Lady Gaga, particularly Poker Face and Just Dance, which it sounds pretty much like a cross between. Has Rihanna been using Will.i.am's trademarked A-B method of songwriting, do you think? Where when you're trying to write a song in the vein of one thing, you just play that in the background and then inspired by it until your song sounds uncannily like that.
Look, it's difficult to know whether, you know, Rihanna was A-Bing, but certainly the songwriters of this song probably were just digging up some of their old material.
It's not her, let's face it.
And just recycling the living shit out of that, because all I can say is that, look, I'm a big fan, don't get me wrong, of Rihanna, but musically this is certainly very derivative of some of her other work.
There's a couple of songs this year that are like that, where you find yourself thinking, it was around this... I mean, it's worse now because people have started using the word interpolated, which just basically means we can sue you for anything.
Yep.
It doesn't even have to be a sample or anything. But, like, it was still a risky proposition to put someone else's stuff into your song. So then you find yourself thinking, well, if you're going to copy a musical, like a sequence of notes or something like that, then don't copy the exact production style of that song. Or vice versa. If you're going to rip off the exact production style of a Lady Gaga song, then make sure you don't use also a melody that sounds exactly like
chord progression.
You can have one or the other, but there's another song that does the same fucking thing this year. But I mean, I guess pre-Robin Thicke it was a little bit less risky, but still, I mean, they really were fucking cruising pretty close to the line with some of these songs.
Yeah, I think when I listened to this, the first thing I thought was Lady Gaga, Just Dance, Poker Face era, that sort of thing.
I just assumed it must be bloody Max Martin and one of her producers, but it's not. It's just they must have just really liked that fucking sound, I guess.
Exactly. So, look, the song itself, as I mentioned, we're not quite sure exactly what this is about, but Rihanna would tell you that the song's only superficially about sex. This is what she had to say.
Sure.
Only superficially, and is inspired by her, quote, sadomasochistic relationship with the press. It isn't just about a bunch of whips and chains. The song can be taken very literally, but it's actually a very metaphorical song. So, Tom, you can take it literally, but it's a metaphorical song.
That's
It's
why
about the
I come
love.
to Rihanna. It's
Yeah,
for
of
the
course.
subtextual,
Yeah.
thematic complexity that she
It's
brings
about
to songs.
it's about the love-hate relationship with the media and how sometimes the pain is pleasurable. We feed off it, or I do, and it was a very personal message that I was trying to get across. So, if you're writing a song about the media's relentless pursuit of a story and comments about your overtly sexual image and lyrics, then I think using such lyrics as "'Cause I may be bad, but I'm perfectly good at it," "Sex in the air," "I don't care, I love the smell of it," "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but whips and chains excite me," then I think that, it's definitely the way to go, because you're steering them off course. They're like, wait a minute, she
That's
isn't so
right.
sexual.
That's right.
It's a completely different thing.
I thought I had a handle on this song, but these lyrics, they're just so obtuse and,
Indeed.
complex that I'm confused as to
Yep.
what she could have meant.
No, indeed. So, the video was banned in 11 countries, mostly Southeast Asia, for being too sexual.
Yeah.
And the BBC refused to play the song before 7 p.m, so they had to come up with an edited version titled "Come On," which was made for the daytime radio.
Maybe that the song.
Yep.
Yeah. I looked, the video is on YouTube, and
Yeah.
frankly, it's not really that edgy at all.
No.
Unless there's some secret, fucking uncensored version. But
Yep.
if there was, I couldn't find it.
Look,
It's less sexy than Umbrella, really.
Yeah.
That was, 5 years ago?
I'm not sure whether they had to ban it because it featured Perez Hilton on a leash. I'm not sure whether that was part of it. He was like a dog. I don't know whether that was part of it. Then that timestamps the video to the early 2010s
Christ, on
for
a
having
bike
hit
it
it.
does, sure.
But look, her outfits are generally in line with other music videos.
Yeah.
I guess she's tied up for a part of it,
Sort
a little
of.
bit.
I mean, yeah,
But,
there's sort
I
of
don't know.
vague allusions to S.
I think her hands are tied together in a bit.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, there you go. So I don't know. Shit
I
gets
read
banned
on
all the
some
time.
website it said Rihanna. The video was edgy because Rihanna appears nude in the video, and I'm like, I don't think she does.
Not that I saw. I don't
watched
think
it.
so.
I watched it fairly carefully.
Yeah, exactly. No, she was nude. She was
Just
nude in the.
for professional
Yep.
reasons. I rewatched it a couple of times.
She was nude in the umbrella one with that silver paint. So I'm not
Yeah.
sure, unless there was an edited one. Maybe
Yeah,
the one I'm
fuck,
watching on
maybe.
YouTube was edited. I'm not
Yeah.
sure, but it didn't seem to be too racy. I don't know. Anyway, look, this was Rihanna's 10th US number one single at the age of 23.
Yep.
Very impressive. Breaking a record previously held by Mariah Carey, who scored her 10th number one at the age of 25. This surprises me, as I assume Aaron Carter would have hit 10 number ones by the age of 12, but I was wrong.
Yeah. Look, I was just going to say that video. Sorry, I missed that. It really, to me, it was another of. I think I said this last time, but I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I just don't. It's another one of her kind of random, sort of erratic videos.
Yeah.
As usual, she's dressed in cool fashion,
Yes.
but the actual video looks like some bad cross between sort of early Lady Gaga and late 90s Hype Williams.
Yeah.
At one point, she's in a press conference where all the press have ball gags in their mouth, and she's up on a sort of pissweak little platform thing, sort of loosely duct taped to the wall behind her under a bit of old plastic sheeting like
Yeah.
a painter's drop cloth. It looks like they thought of the idea with half an hour before the camera crew were going to arrive, and just Madge the intern said, shit, I guess I could run down to that strip mall next door. They've got a dildo shop and a plumbing wholesaler. I'll see what I can come up with before they get here. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe she likes these videos. Maybe she likes these kind of slightly scattered videos. I'm not sure.
I think it always comes back to that thing that Noel Gallagher said once about music videos, that every music video director you come across thinks they're making Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
And it's really just a load of nonsense. So often it's like just ideas are plenty. What if you're behind a sheet, a plastic sheet? Yeah, let's
that's
film
like a
that.
metaphor,
What if
yeah.
you've got a gag in your mouth? What if your hands? What if you're fucking drilling something into a tree? And it's just like all these.
Yeah.
And I think we saw a bit of that with some of those Pink video clips recently, where it's just a
Yeah.
random sequence of weird bullshit that's structured together, and it's like, oh, what the hell's going on with that?
Yeah, I agree. Although the thing with the Pink videos is she always uses the same person.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
hers have a sort of consistent visual aesthetic, at least, even if the actual ideas with them are just all over the place. They look similar. Whereas Rihanna's look, the only consistent thing is that she's always wearing weird, cool clothes
Yeah.
because she's got great taste in fashion, but then everything else, nothing matches between
No.
the videos. There's no, it's just a fucking random, scattershot thing. But anyway, all
Exactly.
right, that's enough about that. Sure.
What about the lyrics? There must be some, highlights here apart from what I've already mentioned.
Well, this is credited to Esther Dean, who's done a lot of writing and production work with Rihanna, as well as Katy Perry, Usher, Jai Ho, which was number one previously for the Pussycat Dolls. We talked about that one. And who could forget Sex Therapy or Shakin' It Number 4 Daddy by Robin Thicke, a song that contains the lines, "She got me jerking in the back, think I'm about to fall in love, because she make that booty roll when she coming down the pole."
Good.
Which is about the time he was caught masturbating in a fire station with a giant foam finger, I think, shortly before his wife left him. This song is also credited to Sandy V and our old friends Richard Dean Anderson, Stargate, the Norwegian duo who produced for Beyonce, Coldplay and a bunch of Rihanna stuff, including Only Girl in the World, which we covered last year. Esther Dean wrote the lyrics, although the Sticks and Stones bit is some old sleazy joke from God knows when, like a federal boob inspector shirt or something.
Okay.
Do you remember that? I'd heard that before.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but whips and chains excite me.
Yeah, and I found myself Googling it on the internet trying to find it, and it's like you can get it on T-shirts and that sort of thing. Most of it links to Rihanna now because of how famous she is, but Esther Dean said, I saw that somewhere and thought it was funny. So it sounds like she's used the same writing technique as bloody Winter Gordon. We've only had 2 songs this year, and they're both intensely S&M focused sexual
Some shit we found on the internet.
Yeah, that's right. That sounded like they were just Googling sort of NSFW stuff and got ideas for songs.
Exactly.
The bit I thought was weird is the sex in the air, don't care, I love the smell of it line. Now, call me Amish, Ben, but is most people's number one favourite thing about sex the smell?
Yeah, I'd say
Which
so.
smell exactly are we talking about?
I don't know.
But clearly Rihanna's into, something. Either that or she's got synesthesia and, I don't know, thinks old PVC smells like raspberries or something.
Exactly where she was going with that. But, look, we'll find out one day, hopefully. We'll get her on the podcast and we'll drill down on that and say, what exactly did you mean by the smell of sex? That you like so much?
And I mean, to take it even one step further, if we're taking her at her word and this whole thing is a metaphor and not the obvious sleazy S&M thing that it clearly is, then what the fuck is the smell of it?
She likes the smell of the media. Yeah, I think so. Just those press junkets, she just loves the smell of it. I think, I don't know. So, look, but as we've said, at the very beginning of this, the best art's always ambiguous, Tom. We don't know where Rihanna stands from a lyrical point of view. From a musical point of view, we know that she's just very interested in other people stealing other people's songs, but that's fine. So look, that's another good one. I'm sorry, I forgot to get the
No, don't worry about it, man.
The values of some of these things today, but look, that's okay. What we'll do is I'll look them all up and I'll just edit them all in later. I'll leave a gap here, and then I'll go 26 cents or something. Everyone will love it. All right, cool. Anything else to say about that one?
No. Who have we got next?
Up next, speaking of Lady Gaga's Just Dance knockoff, we've got Lady Gaga with Born This Way.
Man, these two, for the last 3 years, these two have just been neck and neck, haven't
Absolutely.
they? It's like they're having a dogfight for the number one spot of the wacky pop PVC wearing number one.
For sure. Now, Lady Gaga's back and she's gone fucking full MC Hammer, too legit to quit on the music video for this one. So, we've spoken about some of the music videos in the past that have involved glue-on fucking, lightning bolts and that sort of shit. But this one, there's a dubious backstory, a real fucking dubious backstory, a 3-minute intro before the song kicks in about
Michael
the birth
Jackson
of evil or
style,
some shit. Fuck knows what was going on with that. And they just handed her a blank check at this stage because they must have spent an absolute shitload on this. The music video goes for fucking ever, and it's whack as hell.
It's true, but the difference between, at this point, as I said, Lady Gaga, Rihanna, they're neck and neck.
Yep.
So they're probably getting equal production budgets. You know, they're probably just both, you know, their record companies are just going, whatever you want to do, you can do it. And it shows the difference between them because Lady Gaga obviously cares about the music videos, whereas I get the impression with Rihanna, all she cares about is, do I look good in the video? Anything else that happens is fine. I'll just do whatever you tell me, or, you know. Yeah,
absolutely.
So it's bonkers, but it is obviously some weird sort of vision that she's got.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Michael Jackson's later videos, you know, where you're like, I do not know what the fuck you were talking about, but it's obviously something that you really want to get off your chest.
Exactly.
You know?
For sure.
I'm going to turn into a panther, I'm going to climb in a car, I'm going to smash the windows, and then I'm going to go, rah, and my pants are going to fly off or something. And let's go, all right, we'll put that on after
what if I team up with my sister, we go on a spaceship, and it's going to cost $15 million, and I go, whatever you want, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Now, musically with this one, Tom, you did mention that the previous song seemed to share some similarities with some Lady Gaga songs. Well, this one, I'm not sure who wrote the Madonna song "Express Yourself," whether it was Madonna herself, whether she wrote it with some co-writers. Some people wrote it for her. But I'm surprised they didn't sue for copyright infringement, as there's parts of this song that I say sound exactly the fucking same as "Express Yourself" through to the musical melody, and also when she sings the lyrics, the lyrical melody that she uses is the same. The same.
Exactly. And I mean, people were already saying that she wanted to be the next Madonna. So again, you would think that might be a warning sign to maybe copy from someone less obvious.
Oh, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it is possibly worth noting that "Express Yourself" was also the Madonna one, was also an uncredited homage to the 1971 Staples Singers song "Respect Yourself," which basically has a lo-fi version of the same chorus in a kind of 70s soul thing. On the other hand, this Lady Gaga song also rips off the disco song "Born to Be Alive." So I think Lady Gaga is ahead on unoriginality points, unless you count Rihanna ripping off Lady Gaga, ripping off Madonna, ripping off the Staples Singers, which would put Madonna at the front. Yeah. Which would put Rihanna at the front. Lady Gaga claimed it was unintentional anyway. Now, whether you think that's bullshit or not, Madonna performed a mashup of the two songs on her 2012 MDNA tour, so she can't have been too upset, unless that was like a trade-off in lieu of legal action.
Probably.
Right.
There you go.
But yeah, and I think there's another song of hers called Alejandro, which we might get to if it's a number one, which is also a clear Madonna knockoff. It's is La Bonita and some other Madonna song. Yeah,
correct. Yeah, I do.
And again, the video is thematically very similar to because they both have that Italian Catholic stuff, you know, going on. Except Madonna, the slight virtue of being 20 years ahead of it.
So look, this is her LGBTI plus anthem. Oh yeah. So I probably missed a letter out there. Apologies. The title is almost identical to the 1977 gay disco anthem, "I Was Born This Way." Okay. So she's knocked off the music, she's knocked off the title, and the lyrics, I think, are probably also knocked off from somewhere else.
Have you heard that? Does it sound anything?
It doesn't, no, it doesn't. Okay. The song doesn't, it's...
Yeah.
But in this song, she's talking about being born this way.
Yeah.
So
it does sound a lot like "Born to Be Alive," which is also a similar title.
So the lyrical theme is ripped off, as well as the music. So look, she should have just called this song "A Good Cock Is Hard to Find." I think. So
That's right. That's right. If you want to be original,
exactly. So look, I guess at the time, probably doing that, you know, sort of the this. I guess this is an equality song. And you got to realise that 10 years ago, nowhere had, you know, same-sex marriage. So at the time, it was kind of like quite... I think now if you do like, equality for, you know, homosexuals, it's like, yeah, of course. Like, you know, it's whereas at the time, it was like, we were still debating about these sorts of things.
Like Pink last year, who had a similar song with a video themed around, you know, marriage equality, gay marriage equality. Also ahead of her time. Lady Gaga has figured out that it's a good way to cement your fan base is to make them think of themselves as outsiders and, you know, to reward them from being outsiders and to attract people who feel like outsiders because everybody who's a teenager feels like an outsider, basically, and that's mostly who's listening to pop music. And she started referring to fans as little monsters and
Yep.
gave them this weird hand sign that they do and stuff like that, which appears in this video and that sort of thing. So yeah, like Pink before her, she obviously envisages her fans as these sort of outsiders.
Yep.
Possibly the way she was when she was younger, although possibly not. It's like I said with Pink, it's sort of hard to tell whether it's disingenuous or whether it's legitimate.
Yeah.
Or whether it's legitimate, like in the sense that she believes that, but it doesn't actually reflect who her fans actually are. I honestly can't tell.
Exactly. Now, Little Monsters, is that one of the worst names going around for the fans?
It's not great.
The Bayhive. If you're a Beyonce fan, I'd join the Bayhive. It sounds great. It's like Beehive. It sounds like Beehive, doesn't
Sure.
it? But Bayhive because her name's Beyonce. I'm all in for that. Little Monsters sounds fucking stupid. A lot of them are, a lot of those fan names where it's like, I'm a believer or whatever the Justin Bieber one is. They're all fucking stupid. None of them are any good. So look. Anyway, regarding this song, Lady Gaga commented, as you said, about sort of the inclusivity. She wanted to write an anthem that really spoke to people, challenged the status quo, took on political and social ideas, that were no longer relevant to, a modern society, pushed us forward, as a society and sort of tried to progress things. And she referenced artists that did that, En Vogue, Whitney Houston and TLC. That's who she mentioned specifically. Some of the most progressive artists in terms of challenging society, pushing things forward, taking those ideas and progressing them. Some people might cite political artists such as Rage Against the Machine or, The Clash or Bruce Springsteen even. But for me, when I think about political artists that are pushing the boundaries, projecting, getting a cause and really sort of pushing things as far as they can to sort of help advance society, I think En Vogue, Whitney Houston, TLC, Tom. I assume you're the same.
Sure. Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
What was En Vogue's big hit?
What wasn't their big hit? There's so many. Look, I guess...
Sure.
Sorry, are you looking up En Vogue? No, it's okay.
I know they were like the B tier TLC.
Oh, they were kind of like, yeah. I mean, I think they might have been around a little bit before TLC, I think.
Yeah, they started in the 80s.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, sorry. That's all right. I'll Free Your Mind, that was it. That's a good song.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, they've probably got a heap of hits, I'm not sure.
Well, Free Your Mind, you see there, they were already trying to tell people to, look beyond the...
absolutely
look
right.
I mean, look... There's no getting around it. Lady Gaga, as you say, she's clearly politically engaged. Who could forget that time she wore shoes made out of raw meat to the MTV Awards in order to protest, checks notes, a lack of support for homosexuals in the armed forces. Yeah. So, I mean, she's obviously, ahead of her time in these kinds of causes.
Yeah. Oh, who can forget En Vogue featured on the Salt and Pepper hit What a Man.
What a man,
what a man, what a mighty good man. So they did that.
Vogue.
So it's good. Yeah, anyway, look. So I think this song is pretty shit. Now, I'm going to be honest, just because it rips off so many other things.
Yeah.
Obviously, as we talked about it, at the time it was a very topical sort of song, but I can't see why you'd listen to this over Express Yourself these days if you had the choice to listen to one or the other.
I agree. This is no Express Yourself, and I don't care how old that makes me sound. I don't hate this, though. It's not terrible. Like, it's got sort of catchiness. It's just that, like you say...
Catchiness it's derived exclusively from elsewhere.
It feels sort of ersatz, and, even the message, like I said, it's not even a particularly original message.
No,
it's
exactly.
like, hey, everybody outsiders. I mean, fucking, it's just the Kiss Army, really, isn't it?
Oh, exactly.
It wasn't particularly original when they did it in the 70s.
No, not at all. Look, this is an inclusive anthem, Tom. It's about, being inclusivity. It's an inclusive album. Well, it turns out it's an inclusive anthem if you're gay or transgender, but not if you're a racial minority or have diminished cognitive function. As the song uses the terms chola, Lebanese and Orient in a manner that some deemed offensive and derogatory. I think when using the term Orient in your song, you probably there's that sort of catch-all for just all of Asia that can be problematic. And when asked about the song being a rip-off of Express Yourself, Lady Gaga responded, quote, "That's retarded," end quote. So she certainly did.
It says if there's some line about people with disabilities as well that's a bit... I mean... Okay, fair enough. It is hard to fit complex, sort of intersectional, thinking into a short pop song,
Yep.
3 verses. But, you could manage to find a rhyme for the word Lebanese. You could have come up with something better than Orient, for fuck's sake. People's
think so.
grandparents don't say Orient
I don't think they
anymore.
do.
That's like 1940s.
It's terrible. Exactly.
So,
Look, so Gaga, she debuted the song live at the Grammy Awards in 2011. That was the first time that she performed it live and people saw it. She arrived at the ceremony in a giant egg, carried by models. 3 hours later, she was hatched on stage, Tom. And that symbolised her rebirth before she proceeded to perform the tune. The hatching out of the egg to symbolise rebirth may have been too subtle for some, Tom. Were you able to crack that code?
I don't know. Could you explain it to me a bit?
So she's an egg, and she hatches out. It's like a birth, a rebirth.
She's being born.
Yeah,
sure.
exactly. So look, the Grammy performance was about many things. This is a quote from Lady Gaga. But ultimately, the song Born This Way is visually and thematically and lyrically about birthing a new race. Birthing a race within the race of already existing cultures of humanity that bears no prejudice and no judgment.
So really, this is less about inclusion and more about Lady Gaga's theories on eugenics.
I think so.
An attempt to create some sort of ultimate species of human,
Yeah.
a master race, if you will.
Well, that's what I was thinking. It sounds like the song, rather than being sort of inclusive of everyone, it is about her desire to create a superior race.
Yes.
All of people that apparently look like her as well, so I'm not sure whether that's
As long
problematic.
as they're not retarded, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. So it's about, you're right, it's a very much a eugenics themed song. It's about breeding a master race with no people with any sort of cognitive disability. So people don't talk about that element of this song.
No.
So I'm not sure whether that's ideal. But look,
The Nick Knight video is an equally confused mishmash that features, as you said, a very lengthy spoken word introduction featuring unicorns, angels, Roman gods, and Lady Gaga in Barbarella fetish gear with a plastic eyeball glued to her chin,
Yeah.
giving birth to a tattoo model out of her space vagina before turning black and white, shooting a belt-fed M60 at nothing in particular, and walking around in her Reg Grundies for 3 minutes before any music actually happens.
yeah.
I'm not saying this is boring. In fact, I'm saying it sets up a standard of kookiness that her subsequent highly derivative disco song and already predictable panties choreography can't really hope to compete with.
Exactly.
She should have just played the song over the first 3 minutes of crazy shit and saved herself 2 months of dance practice and memorising whatever the fuck that weird soliloquy at the start was.
Exactly.
Also, don't wear bloody flip-flops in a dance music video. It looks terrible. If you don't want to dance in ridiculous McQueen lobster shoes, fair enough. Just have bare feet, I'm saying.
Oh, exactly.
It's not a good look.
No, completely agreed. Completely
You can't
agreed.
wear thongs with a fetish bra.
No,
It
you
just
can't.
looks ridiculous.
You can't. You got to dress, from head to toe needs to be the same theme, I think so. But yeah, look, it wasn't boring. Certainly wasn't
Just
boring.
the
It's
intro, is entertainingly
it's
weird.
completely bizarre. Look, Gaga was close friends with the late British fashion designer Alexander McQueen, Tom.
Yes.
Who unfortunately committed suicide by hanging just before this song was written. So they were quite close. Gaga told Harper's Bazaar magazine that she believed that rather than writing the song herself, McQueen helped to craft the tune from beyond the grave. She said, "He planned the whole thing. Right after he died, I wrote Born This Way. I think he's up in heaven with fashion strings in his hands, marionetting away, planning the whole thing." So what I like about this, Tom, is that she's passing the plagiarism aspect off onto a ghost. So I'm not sure if it's the same ghost that Kesha fucked previously. I don't know whether she fucked Alexander McQueen as a ghost, but certainly it's an interesting concept, isn't it? If Madonna or whoever was to sue Lady Gaga and it went to court and she said, "I actually didn't write this, it was penned by a ghost. A ghost wrote this one." Some may even see, Tom, the song was... You ready?
Really?
Some may even say the song was ghost written.
Wow.
That's why we don't do jokes on this podcast for that reason.
I mean, that's excellent.
It's fucking awful. But anyway, so that's a novel idea.
Yes.
To say a ghost
I
wrote
wonder
the track.
if you could legitimately get out of plagiarism by saying, "Oh, I got the song written for me by this guy, except he's dead now, so you can't blame me." because I didn't copy it. He told me to do it.
I just
wonder
think
if
that
you could get away with it.
you could try, but I think that'd still take all your songwriting proceeds and give it to the actual writers.
It was a shame about Steve McQueen. He was only Alexander McQueen. He was only 40.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
and he was massively successful.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
for a fashion designer, he was very involved in the music world. He was friends with and/or beloved by artists such as Kanye, Boy George, Katy Perry, Courtney Love, Estelle, Björk, and old Nowhere Jordan Sparks.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga was talking about how much his outfits and his individualistic attitude to the arts inspired her on CNN the morning he died.
Oh, really?
Like before anyone knew about it yet. You know, while he was killing himself, she was on CNN saying how awesome he was and how much he inspired her. You know, and her whole look and all that sort of thing.
Wow.
You know, yeah, it's a real shame. Apparently, he just had periods of depression and people just couldn't help him with it. He just took a whole bunch of drugs and then hung himself. What a waste.
It is, yeah. It's definitely really sad. But at least he wrote this from beyond the grave. So in many ways, if he hadn't have killed himself, this song would never have been written. So
they'll always have those giant lobster shoes.
Yep, exactly. Now look, the album cover to the CD single features Lady Gaga fused into a motorcycle.
It sure does.
Now, it's not Lady Gaga on a motorcycle.
No.
It's Lady Gaga fused into... She's part motorcycle, part Lady Gaga, she explained in an interview. On the album cover, I'm half motorcycle, as I now feel that I'm in a space where I can explain artistically that I'm an endlessly transformative, and I'm now the vehicle, not just for my voice, but the voice of a generation and what we have to say about the world. Now, Lady Gaga is seriously challenging the members of the Black Eyed Peas for some of the stupidest fucking whack-ass quotes going. Yeah, I'm half human, half bike on the cover because I'm the voice of my generation. Get it? I fucking don't get it. To quote Lady Gaga, that's retarded, end quote.
Look, man, all I'm saying is that if lesbians aren't allowed to be openly acknowledged in the Air Force, I'm going to the BAFTAs wearing a G-string made of garlic bread.
Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
And,
yeah.
you know, that's certainly not a retroactive explanation that I came up with when my graphic designer went, what if you're a motorbike? And then I looked at it and went, oh, that's pretty cool. And then decided to turn it into a thing about how I'm the voice of a generation.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely right. I'm the voice of a generation as demonstrated through that half motorbike, half Gaga cover. Sick. Yeah. It's great. Now, sorry. It's great. I like that people are challenging Will I Am because usually that's the dude that comes up with some fucking stupid shit. What are the lyrics?
I'm glad we keep mentioning Will I Am in these because it keeps reminding me that these songs aren't so bad, really. Every time I get a bit down, I just remember the Black Eyed Peas and I'm like, yeah, Lady Gaga's not so bad. Really.
No, this song's fine.
Comparatively excellent.
Doesn't make you want to throw your stereo out a window, so yeah.
This was co-written by Hepe Lawson.
Yep.
A man with few credits on his own, but he was the senior half of Dance Act Junior Senior, who had a hit with the insanely catchy song Move Your Feet back in 2002. I think they're European, somewhere that doesn't speak English. He's a great big guy with red beard. But yeah, if you look at his credits, it's basically just every possible version of this song. So he must have just got lucky with this one. But yeah. My mama told me when I was young, we were all born superstars. She rolled my hair and put my lipstick on in the glass of her boudoir. There's nothing wrong with loving who you are, she said, because he made you perfect, babe. So hold your head up, girl, and you'll go far. Now, do you think that conversation ever took place?
No, I definitely didn't.
I mean, I'm sure Lady Gaga loves herself, but I'm struggling to imagine anyone's mum saying, we are all born superstars.
Yeah.
Also, it's bullshit and stupid advice for a child, obviously. That's the whole point of fucking Fight Club, but never mind.
Yeah.
I can't help but feel that this song might be giving ammo to the right-wing grifter army who love to equate tolerance and acceptance with the idea that everyone should get a trophy and then where will tomorrow's Joe Rogans come from, Ben?
That's correct.
You know, answer me that. Who's thinking of the tiny unborn Joe Rogans swimming around in their dad's ball sacks?
Yep.
You know, who's looking after them?
Now, Tom, did you find the part of the lyrics where she does use the word orient? Did you didn't find you didn't? That, you know, if you didn't,
No,
that's
I think
okay.
it says it a couple of times,
Yeah.
actually.
I just wasn't sure of the context, whether it fitted into her eugenic super race of exterminate all those from the Orient. It's only whites that should survive. I wasn't sure whether that's the angle she was going for.
She uses
the
it
white
in a weird
supremacist
way. She uses it. She says like whether you're Chola, Lebanese, or Orient. It's like she's using it instead of the word Asian because she couldn't figure out a way to pass Asian or something. But like, it doesn't make sense at all because Orient isn't a. It's not an adjective the way Asian is.
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
You know, it's a region if it's anything.
no
Oriental
sense.
is what she
Oh,
means,
yeah.
but she doesn't say that.
She can't fit it
and
in.
even if she did say that, it would still be equally sketchy. It's just weird.
look.
Also, why Lebanese? Of all the countries in the world you could pick, why Lebanese?
Got three syllables. Lebanese.
I don't get it. It's all very confused.
Yeah, exactly.
So she's used a weird sort of semi-dodgy racial colloquialism.
Yeah.
One non-offensive but weirdly specific actual country name.
Yep.
And then a like 1950s era wrongly used
Yeah.
racial
I know.
term from way back.
Oh,
it's very strange.
It's really weird. Look, it's all a moot point because her super race won't include any of those people. As
Clearly,
well.
that's right.
It's going to be
yeah,
her.
Especially not if they're mentally impaired in any way.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, well,
right.
let's move on from Lady Gaga's theory of eugenics. And what have we got next?
Yeah. Up next, 3 more weeks of Rihanna S&M. She's
yep,
back
she
for
comes
3
back.
more. And then after that, we've got fucking about time. It's J-Lo featuring Pitbull on the floor. Holy
Mr.
shit.
Worldwide. Have we had Mr. Worldwide?
We haven't.
before?
No, that's the thing. I mean, we've acknowledged the genius of Mr.
Yes.
Worldwide, Pitbull, on
We've
the show
certainly
before.
had Jennifer
But
Lopez before.
yeah,
so
but
here
this
we
is
are.
the first time the Australian public have jumped onto the Pitbull train and taken the track all the way to number 1.
Woot, woot.
So this is the first time that Pitbull's hit
Yes.
there. So we know the J-Lo story. What about the Pitbull story?
Oh, tell me, Ben.
Well, he's from Miami, which everyone obviously knew based on that white suit that he's
Sure.
wearing.
Yeah.
So yeah, he chose the name Pitbull because the dog, quote, Tom, bite to lock. The dog is too stupid to lose, and they're outlawed in Dade County. They're basically everything that I am. It's been a constant fight. So from that we know that Pitbull, the singer, he bites to lock, Tom. We know that. He bites to lock. He's too stupid to lose. So, which, fair enough.
I agree
So
with that,
he
yes.
says he's a fucking idiot, but he keeps going. And I think he's outlawed in Dade County. So I'm not sure where that is.
Well,
I assume it's
County's part of Florida, so I'm
Yep.
pretty sure that that's not true because, as far as I know, pretty much everything is legal in Florida.
Yeah, it's real close to
I think
Miami.
you're allowed to get married to alligators.
Yes, I think so. Is it near the Florida Keys? Just like Kokomo, probably. So I'm not sure.
That's right.
So anyway, so that's the Pitbull. That's how he got his name. Look, he met up with a friend of the podcast, Little John. We love Little John. He just
Sure,
yells
yep.
heaps. So those two met in 2002, and then Pitbull sort of expressed his interest in rapping at the time. So he's a bit of a rapper. Recorded a song
bit
with
of a rapper, sure.
yeah, recorded a song with Little John and Pitbull teamed up for a song that ended up on Too Fast, Too Furious soundtrack.
Often called
So that
the
was
best
his
one.
first, I think, sort of push into sort of a bit of a successful sort of thing. Obviously, the second best Fast and Furious film after Tokyo Drift.
Oh,
we can
yes,
all agree
sorry,
on that.
You're right. That was number 3, wasn't it?
So yeah, he did that rapping, but then after a bit of rap, he wasn't gaining as much traction as he would have liked. So repositioned himself more in the pop world with his album Planet Pit. Fucking sick
okay.
name for an album. What's your album name? Planet Pit. Fuck yes. So he did
If you
that.
don't know his name's Pitbull, it's
Yeah.
a fairly weird name.
Yeah,
I suppose.
exactly.
Take that as well.
So from there, I was looking at his singles list. He's released about 1 million singles like by now,
Okay.
and he's the featured artist on about another billion. He just keeps pumping shit
Well,
out.
he does production as well, doesn't he? So
I think so.
I
Yeah.
think he does.
So look,
yeah.
he's so much
Well, I
material,
hope he does,
so many
'cause otherwise
featuring,
his
so much shit.
contribution-
Yeah,
it's a
exactly.
bit questionable.
This is his only Australian number 1. So we won't get to talk about him again, which I was
Yeah.
surprised at. I just assumed he'd have 10, 15, 20,
I'm sure he'll pop
25.
up on
but-
other things.
Yeah. So-
I mean, this is not him either, really. It's
No.
featuring people, but yeah.
Yeah, so look, he got into a bit of trouble in 2020 when he claimed that the pandemic was a conspiracy, Tom.
Sure.
He called it a scamdemic, he called it a plandemic, and spread a few false claims about it. So he was offside with a few people. A couple of people were
Yes.
like, hey, that's not right. We don't like this misinformation.
Not
but he
the
appeased.
president of America.
No, but he
some
was
other
on
people.
side with them, but some people. But the people that he'd put offside, Tom, he appeased them by purchasing a NASCAR team Trackhouse Racing. So he bought that, and everyone just went, "That's okay, Pitbull.
Sure.
We forgive you about your sort of some of your false claims about the pandemic."
Yeah,
So that's
I mean,
okay.
Pitbull keeps it real, Ben.
Yes,
Much like Jenny, who, as we know, is from the block.
she is. Yeah,
And there's no way either of them would lower themselves to selling out their values, which is why the first shot of this music video is J-Lo holding a Swarovski crystal gift box directly in front of the camera, so the logo's, about 50% of the screen.
Yeah.
Clearly appearing in #1 films and having #1 albums doesn't pay much, and you have to turn your art into advertisements for overpriced bedazzlers.
yeah, exactly.
Another interesting choice this video makes is to repeatedly frame Pitbull in mid-shot at the lower half of the screen against an empty backdrop, which really serves not to just highlight how short and bold he is, but to actually go further and make him look remarkably like Simon Pegg from Hot Fuzz doing a lazy impression of Florida's favourite aviator-clad disco midget.
Yes.
It really does make him look about knee-high.
Yeah.
I would have legitimately been annoyed if I had seen this video
Yeah, that
and I
would
was
make you
Pitbull. I'd be like, what are you fucking doing here? Oh, man.
Absolutely.
He's got this kind of affected snarl thing he does, this kind of little lip curl, which makes him look even more like a weird little guy doing an impression of himself. It's very strange.
It is completely bizarre. You failed to mention, Tom, that the first 15 seconds of the video features not only the Swarovski crystals, but also a BMW. I think it's
Oh, does it as well with the, let me guess, drives up to the camera
There's
and
a
stops
quick-
so that the logos...
Yep, zoom right on the logo, and then the crystals come out.
I mean, look, product placement is a recurring theme in the last few years of video clips, but I just thought this was particularly egregious given that it's the opening shot of the video,
yeah.
one, and two, J-Lo is fucking minted. She's loaded. She doesn't fucking need
Yeah.
fucking
How are
sponsorship.
we going to pay for this video clip? Product placement. Later in the video, there's a Crown Royal product placement, Tom.
Crown Royal. What did they do?
Well, you may know that as a key component of the Blacktooth Grin, the favourite cocktail of Dimebag Daryl. So there's just that. There's a zoom in on the bottle for that as well. So
Yeah.
it's product placement all over the place.
Fortunately, Pantera had the integrity not to prominently feature the booze that they did actually drink
Well, exactly.
in their videos.
Exactly. This is a Eurodance track, I think we can say.
Yeah, it's certainly, yeah.
It features samples from the 1989 track Kamoa Lambada. And for those that don't know, the Lambada, Tom, is the forbidden dance.
It's true.
So they sample that
so
track.
forbidden that nobody really seemed to be 100%
No.
sure what it actually
I
was.
don't really know what's going
What it
on.
looked like or sounded like. But
So they sampled that in there. So that was, I guess, the hook that got people in. But what really takes this Eurodance number, to the next level, Pitbull, obviously. But the lyrics, which is so fucking stupid, it's hard to believe that someone approved them. That badonkadonk is like a trunk full of bass on an old school Chevy, 7-tray donkey donk. All I need is some vodka, some chonky kong, and what she's gonna get Donkey Kong. Baby, if you're ready for things to get heavy. What's he talking about?
I have no fucking idea. I read, the one I read, it said, all I need is some vodka, some chonky coke.
Okay.
But that still doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
And what is a 7-tray donkey donk?
I don't know.
And what is she going to get Donkey Kong? I don't know. It sounds like he spent a bit too much time playing Donkey Kong 64 on the Nintendo.
I think that's probably what he was doing, playing a bit of that N64 at the time. So look, there's also an Inception reference in there, like it's going on like Inception. So which is I think a reference at the time that anyone used for something they didn't understand. Just like going, it's like Inception. I can't possibly understand
Inception,
the multiple levels of this
movie
Christopher
that
Nolan.
famously people who aren't that bright think is super intellectual and complicated. It's really not very complicated.
No, you're just in someone's dream trying to do
Yep.
some shit. And it also features the lyric, Tom, if you're a criminal, kill it on the floor.
Yeah.
So I assume it's about the dance floor.
I
Not
noted
sure
that
about
one as well. That's fucking... Yeah.
Yeah, but look, when it comes to those lyrics, a lot of them we don't understand, but this is what people had to say. When you got these big house records or club records that are very global, and they are obviously, I try to come in on what I was raised on, what I'm a fan of, which is just spitting hard. Can't argue with that. In comes Pitbull and just spits hard with some Donkey Kong, some Gonky Chong, some Donkey Gong, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
He just spits hard and everyone goes, fuck yeah.
I'm not sure what nationality he is or whether that makes any difference, but rapping is not the first thing of when I think of Pitbull.
No.
The
Yeah.
first thing I think of is obviously that he comes from Miami because he mentions it in every single thing he does.
Yeah, I hope you're right. He does some production because otherwise it's kind of like he's just going, "Hey, chunky bomb with a little lonky long."
Yeah, and it's all auto-tuned to fuck and just
Yeah, exactly. So look,
Anyway.
the completed music video for this premiered season 10 of American Idol, 2011.
Okay.
So what happened? They premiered that on the show. Fans could vote between 3 alternative endings through Idol's official website. Lopez said the idea behind giving fans the choice was to give them a chance to see what she experienced, Tom. You get to do what I do. I go in there with my videos and I start editing and picking all the shots I like and all the things that I like, and what I feel is the best kind of feeling for the record is you guys get to do that. So she's throwing the editing component of the music video into the general public's hands, Tom. The alternative endings include 3 varying scenes. In the first, there's a close-up of Lopez's face. The second ends with a shot of dancers defying gravity on the walls and ceiling. And the third part is a shot of Lopez on the dance floor in her harem pants.
wow.
So, the audience, they've got those 3 choices, Tom. They get to do what J-Lo does. They get to make these, creative decisions. That's part of the human creative spirit, I guess. Taking these very disparate ideas and letting the people at home do what J-Lo does. They get to do what she does and edit and choose what they think is the ultimate ending for that, Tom.
And what did they go for?
What they did was, Tom, they went for the first edit. They thought they said, we want Lopez's face, a close-up of her face in a catsuit.
Some might say the least interesting option.
The least interesting
Which is
option.
why creativity always benefits from groupthink and asking large committees of people what they reckon their best idea is. That's
For sure.
why movie directors always love test screening so much.
For sure. But they got to do what Lopez does. They got to. They basically the general public effectively edited this entire video, Tom. They were just given the raw footage and said, "Go to town." That's what J-Lo gets to do. They did that for her. So
it was
really
a level of video control not seen since the days of the Sega 32 and Sega CD. And
crisscross edit your video. Exactly. I feel like J-Lo probably stole the idea from Crisscross's, edit your own video thing.
If she doesn't have a Sega CD at home, I'd be very surprised.
She definitely would.
Look, as you'd expect from that, it's a bad video. It's one of those sort of Shakira-style ones, which has clearly cost quite a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
E.g., product placement aside, there's good lighting, there's good staging, there's good costuming and hair and everything else. But it's just shot in a sort of flat, boring, kind of unflattering way.
Yeah.
That highlights the artificiality of everything happening on the screen. Pitbull looks 4 feet tall and ridiculous.
He does.
The crowd looked like the extras they probably are. And even J-Lo in a crystal skin-tight bodysuit thing looks kind of awkward.
She does,
She's sort of bogling around on her own against a blank wall. It just looks like she's climbed up trying to get out to the window of the ladies' toilets and couldn't reach it or something.
Exactly.
She deserves better than this shit.
I think she does. Look, Tom, this track was YouTube's most popular song of 2011.
Well, there you go.
So that's what happens when you let the general public edit it. You put it in their hands.
Yeah.
They say, hey, if the editing, maybe J-Lo had have said, I think the editing should be me in harem pants. They did that. No one would have watched it. But the general public said, no, we want her close up on the face in the catsuit.
People are increasingly listening to music on YouTube these days, so it's possible that people just liked... Maybe they wanted to see the bodysuit, but they might have just liked the song as well. What did you think of the actual song?
Oh, it's terrible, but I think that has a lot to do with those whack-ass lyrics. And
Yeah,
the sample that they use of the
Pitbull
Lambada's a bit trash as well, to be honest. So it's sort of
Yeah.
like, I don't know. No, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love, Euro beats, but this doesn't hold a candle to your La Bouches or your culture beats. That's what
No,
I'm
it's
saying.
got more in common with Winter Gordon from earlier, which
Yep.
is it's Eurobeat in the sense that it's Eurodance in the sense that it's European flavoured dance, but
Yep.
it's not. It's not Eurodance in the sense that it could hold a candle to What Is Love by Hadaway.
Oh, absolutely couldn't. You're absolutely right. Ice MC, all of the greats.
Sure.
I don't think Ice MC. Pitbull. It's the artist Pitbull could have been, really. I think when we really break it down. So.
He really does kind of resemble those guys with the chin beard from those Eurodance videos.
does.
Sort of ethnically questionable dude up the back going, who does do the breakdown in the middle of What Is Love or whatever.
Yeah, that's sort of where I see Pitbull as the guy that just showed up to do the real shit rap in like a 1993 Eurodance song by whoever the fuck it is, like Wrap Me Up in Your Love or something like that.
And the lyrics aren't quite matching their mouth movements, and you're not sure whether they've like overdubbed themselves or whether it's someone else that's doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And somehow he's broken through to be his own artist and have successful albums, and it's just like, nah, man, you should have been doing the rap on, as we mentioned, Hadaway. So, what about the lyrics on this?
Well, the whole melody line for this comes from an 80s song called Lorando Se Fue by Los Carcas.
Yep.
And the
It's
song...
got another sample in it, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Okay.
and the song also features a sample of Pump It Up by Joe Budden.
Okay.
So this is credited to Bilal the Chef Haji, Ulysses Hermosa, Gonzalo Hermosa, Pitbull, Teddy Sky, AJ Jr., Kinder, and Red One.
Jesus.
None of those people are named Jennifer Lopez, so I guess we can't blame her for the lyric, if you're a criminal, kill it on the floor,
No.
steal it quick on the floor, yeah, don't stop, keep it moving, put your drinks up, woo. Now, incitements to murder aside, if you've never been out dancing before, let me say that yelling, put your drinks up, translates to, drunk bitches throw glassware in my face, please.
Yep.
It'd be like saying, anyone with a cigarette, wave it at eye level, or punch a stranger in the kidney and crowd surf covered in dog shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have a personal dislike for throw your hands up or throw your drinks up, or everybody in the club. Yeah, there's a reason why Teo Cruz... Was it Teo Cruz?
Yep.
Who's the one that says...
I put my hands up in the air sometimes. Yeah,
that's right,
exactly.
because you've got to pick your moments to put your hands up in the air.
Yeah.
Like, not when you're trying to carry 2 drinks across the dance floor.
Oh, exactly.
And I think at another point he says, I put my hands up I make sure there's room for my hands.
Oh, for
he
sure.
actually literally says
Teo Cruz is...
he's thoughtful. He's thought
He's
ahead.
smart.
Whereas
Smart.
J-Lo's just telling people, or the 17 people that wrote this song are just yelling, put your drinks up. I mean, that's just like, you're just asking for a face full of tepid Midori.
And that's the thing as well. I mean, who has the money to go and buy 2 vodka sodas from the bar? What's that, like $48 or something these days? And then
if
you
you're
sort
lucky.
of walk back and it's like throw them up, and it's like, there you go. I've
That's
just
right.
dropped $50 on 3 drinks and I've thrown them up in the air. It's ridiculous.
Also, put your drinks up. I mean, what does that prove? You can afford to buy a $48
Oh,
gin and tonic.
I don't know. Teo knew what it was about. I put my hands up in the air, sometimes. And what he's really saying is that, given I'll look at the circumstances, I'll look at the environment around me, and I will deem at that point in time if it is appropriate for me to put my hands up or not. And I like that pragmatic approach of Teo Cruz. I always have. I've supported him as an artist, but just as a practical artist. So, I think more people should be singing about that, Let's hit the floor sometimes, on occasion.
Parents, Tom and Penelope Cruz, taught him well.
They did, certainly.
As we've covered, he is the illegitimate child of those two.
He is, absolutely right.
So, all right, who have we got next then? What's up? 11th of April?
11th of April.
For a brief single week?
I think only 1 week on this bad boy. Look... Snoop Dogg versus David Guetta. Sweat!
We're back to fucking verses.
Reverse the versing. Now, look, even Snoop has decided to get in on this extreme auto-tune... This is an auto-tuned Eurodance single.
Yeah.
With Snoop.
It kind of is,
Now,
isn't it?
look...
And it's not like featuring Snoop. It's It's him.
verses.
It's all Snoop.
But
Like,
look,
it's-
what I found out, Tom, is it turns out that David Guetta, the man who almost single-handedly helped bring back the cheesy as fuck 90s Eurodance pop hits, just with the modern production
and
techniques.
without actually writing the melodies himself, because that's the hard part. You
Exactly
fucking
right.
dildo.
So he's just remixed the Snoop song "Wet,"
Yes.
which was deemed, Tom, too hot for radio, and this is the end result. So, look, there's vocal effects, though, all over the original. Listen to the original song,
That's true,
"Wet."
yes.
So, we can't just say, hey, it's all on Guetta. Guetta's guilty. He's the man that's auto-tuned the shit out of this. Snoop was doing that on the original. So
the
Guetta's-
original... Oh, sorry.
No, please, go.
Well, the original was produced by the Cataracts,
Yep.
a production duo who, in a bizarre twist of fate, aren't from Scandinavia.
Whoa, what?
I know, it's crazy. They're
Where are they from?
American,
Fucking
believe it or
what?
not. Sadly, they are annoying as fuck because A, they also did Like a G6, which is one of the most irritating
Fucking
songs
hell.
of the decade.
Did they?
And B, they've managed to ruin the best thing Snoop has going for him, e.g. his rad voice and unique delivery, under a mountain of, as you say, shit auto-tune
Yep.
and effects that sound like someone's little brother playing with the pause button on a CD remote, which
yeah.
just completely fucks up his natural timing and flow, which is the best thing about fucking Snoop. Similarly, the video surrounds him with 20-year-old dancers in an unflattering blue light and with his shirt off for most of the running time. Did I mention that he is 50, Ben? And
Is
he
he?
wasn't exactly a sex bomb even back in the day.
No.
Much like the audio production of the original, it just turns his strengths into a weakness. And frankly, he looks way more comfortable in that fucking wacky-ass California Girls video, stoned out of his mind, buried neck-deep in fairy floss next to a half-nude Katy Perry with purple plastic hair.
Yeah.
As he does, like, here trying to look hot next to a, 15 people 30 years younger than him with his friggin' shirt off.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Gwenna's contribution, as far as I can tell, to the whole thing was adding a more consistent backbeat, 5 minutes work on Pro Tools, and a synth line taken directly from the 1992 song Don't You Want My Love by Felix, specifically the Hooge mix. Even the video is just the Snoop original, except with Guetta's name slapped on the front end in a shit pink font, and the Royal Brothers removed, which was the only fucking interesting part about the video, which we'll talk about later. So well done again, Guetta, you overpaid homogenising hack.
Yeah, he has. I don't know. He is a disgrace to music. I think I've always said that.
I didn't know he was this bad. Like, in dance music, you would hear he would be remixing stuff. But at this time, I was listening to dance music, but I wasn't paying attention to the pop charts. And now I've just increasingly realised how shit.
I think
he is.
I think he's always been trash. Yeah, definitely. Even on that fucking '90s rap track that he did.
Yeah,
which it was no good.
And that weird little doco thing I watched about the YouTube explainer video about Call On Me by Eric Prydz.
Oh, yeah.
You really get the impression that there was two lots of dance music people in that video. There was the kind that thought Daft Punk should have just, were smart for never making Call On Me into a pop song, and the other half of people who were on the sort of Eric Prydz, David Guetta, Ministry of Sound side, where the whole point of anything is just monetize it as quickly as possible and make as much cash and then move on to the next thing.
Get out.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
If you can do it as fast as possible, then that's the best song. So
Yeah. Like a G6, Tom, I'm glad that came up. Featuring the lyrics, let's go out getting slizzard.
Drinking hard, getting
slizzard.
Yeah.
So, is that, do people still use that terminology?
I don't think they used it even at the time.
No, I don't think so.
It was kind of mystified.
What I like about that song is everyone was like, oh, what does it mean? What does like a G6 mean? And I think they're like, it's just completely made up. Is it like a plane? Is it a type of car?
It's a
They were
plane,
like,
isn't it?
no, I think they just went, we just made it up.
Oh, really?
It means nothing.
Oh, okay.
So,
I
which is
just thought
great.
it was a private
So,
plane.
no, that's perfect.
Okay.
But look, what I like about this, and this is something credit where credit's due, Tom.
Sure.
I think David Guetta, he is obviously a hack, but I think we need to acknowledge that I like a remix where some remixes they just take the original and add a little bit to it. Like, it's just the same song, we've got like a rap bit in there, or we've changed the beat a bit. It's a little bit basically the same thing. But what David Guetta's done with this remix is he's completely flipped the script. He's changed the whole thing. It's upside down.
Sure.
Up is down, left is
Down
right.
is
It's
up.
completely changed for sure. So, because the remix, Tom, it's about banging a chick and making her sweat. Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to make you sweat, which is completely different from the original song where he talks about getting a chick wet and then banging her.
Okay.
So they've completely reversed the order in which the moisture appears in the remix, okay?
Sure.
In the original, he's talking about pre-bone getting someone wet, and in this one, in the remix, it's about post-bone or during boning that he's going to get them sweating. So he's completely changed the order up of when he's going to get people wet, and I respect that. You don't see that a lot in remixes, just a complete reversal of what the song's about. So look, he's an artist, yeah, and David Guetta knows what makes a hit. He knows what's going to... He knows that to have a hit, you need to appeal to as many people as possible.
Sure.
You need to have a wider audience as possible that can buy the song. So the part in the original Wet where Snoop raps about making someone's pussy drip like a tap has been removed, David Guetta realised that that wasn't really family-friendly, having that. Your snatches dripping like a tap. We've got to get that out of here. Whereas the remix, I think you'll find, is completely family-friendly.
Yeah.
So
it's like when he did that song, Sexy Bitch, and then he changed it to, what was it?
Sexy Chick. It's exactly right.
A similar level of lyrical.
For sure. So, yeah, the remix, completely family friendly. I'm in the hole like a birdie.
Sure.
What you want to do tonight? It's still early. Want to get spewed tonight? I'm not sure what that means. She's all sturdy. I'm in between your lips like a cigarette. She want to quit. She want to make it wet. I'm going to get you wet. Tell me, baby, are you wet? I just want to get you wet. Holiday Inn come, meet me on the 8th floor. Damn, it feels good, but I feel bad for them maids, though. And I apologise, but when I slip inside, I turn the girls into a slip and slide. Now, that's from the classy original song, Tom.
Sure.
And I guess it wouldn't surprise you after hearing those lyrics that Snoop wrote this song specifically to be performed at Prince William's bachelor party. I find that astonishing.
It's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Do you think, is he sort of singing this song and he's looking at Prince, like making eye contact with Prince William, going, when I slip inside, I turn girls into a slip and slide? And Prince William's just thinking, yeah, when I'm fucking banging Kate Middleton, it's all slip and slide. It's like a water park in the Royal Palace, I think. So
I hope the Queen was there too.
Oh, and you just know Prince Andrew was there, wasn't he? Sort of at the bachelor
he was
party.
definitely there. Yeah.
He was up at the back, sort of thinking, yeah, when I'm inside, I turn girls into it. Was it sort of like a metaphorical slip and slide, or like a literal slip and slide at Epstein's mansion?
Well, he had a lot going on what the locals called Pedophile Island.
Well, exactly.
Which might have been some sort of giveaway to the local law enforcement, but I guess not.
Ironically, with the remix, Prince Andrew, he can't sweat. He doesn't have the ability to sweat. So he's certainly more of a fan of the original.
Time served in the Falkland Islands.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is one of the weirdest fucking diversion tactics I've ever heard.
Sure. So he doesn't like the remix. He only likes the original. The bit about the cigarette in the pussy lips and feeling bad for the maids because of how trashed the fucking. So exactly right. So that's one of the wackest. I mean, hey, Snoop's going to come along and write a song for the bachelor party, and this is what you get served up.
Well,
I like it.
Apparently, Harry originally reached out to Snoop Dogg to play at William Stagg Do, but Snoop was already booked, but that served to open up lines of communication between the 50-year-old gangbang exponent and the Royal Brothers.
Yeah, good.
And Snoop sent Wet to the pair when he'd finished it, saying it would make a good track for a stag do.
Yeah.
Including a video that features a tribute to the pair getting flown to Vegas and being rubbed all over by 763 chicks in bikinis, all of whom have been thoroughly pre-moistened by Snoop Dogg.
Oh, no doubt.
But yeah, I mean, he did claim in many, many, many subsequent interviews and songs that he was good friends with the two princes. So, yeah, I mean, they must have made a real impression on him, because you'd think with the royal heirs, the sort of coolness value of being associated with an ex, fucking, what was he, West Side gangster would be, or six of one, half a dozen of the other. On the one hand they are rich and famous, but on the other hand they're kind of dorky. And also very, 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 very white. But hey, he obviously thought it was pretty cool, and they claimed that they were big fans growing up. So who knows what they were playing on the royal fucking
You reckon they're
Discman
blasting the dog father just, at Buckingham Palace?
sneaking it in on the Discman to I don't know. Look,
it's good.
but yeah, did you see the video with them in it? There's two versions. There's in the wet version, there's like and in the sweat version, it's basically the same video, but they took that part out, I guess. He basically takes them on a bachelor party, which kind of again shows how much of an impression it must have made on them, on him.
Yeah, indeed. So a lot of great lyrics in there, though.
They are. Yeah.
So
Look, I think you covered them fairly well. As Derek Zoolander once said, "Moisture is the essence of wetness."
That's correct.
Snoop obviously took that message to heart.
For sure. Cool. Anything else on this one?
No. What have we got next?
Oh, well, Tom, things are going from strength to strength with LMFAO featuring Lauren Bennett and Goon Rock, Party Rock Anthem.
Yeah, and the first thing that we have to get out of the way here is that this is 10 weeks of this, by the way.
10 weeks of this shit, exactly.
Yeah.
A long time. Way too long. Now, look, here's what I like about LMFAO, Tom.
Sure.
In 2012,
Yeah.
not far from now in the podcast history, like next year, the duo announced they'd be taking an indefinite hiatus from music. And as of now, we're in July of 2022, a decade on from making the announcement. They've stuck to this. There's been no mention of a reunion or comeback. There's been no new music, and it doesn't sound like they're ever going to record ever again or perform as LMAFO ever again, which is a real win for society as their music is objectively terrible. Is that a fair assessment, Tom?
I mean, look, some artists, your Kurt Cobains, your Morrisseys, your Princes, they just burn bright, but they can't last very long.
It's much like these guys, yeah.
Yeah, they really could only last for pretty much the length of 2011, and that was about it. But they did burn bizarrely bright, e.g. 10 fucking weeks of this shit. Look, I would say that there are exactly two good things about this song.
Yep.
The bit where he says, "Every day I'm shuffling," which is nicked from a Rick Ross song, e.g. he's credited for it, and the squeaky electro bit in the dancey part, which I'm assuming was done by producer Listen B, a.k.a. Goon Rock, because he's got two names and they're both better than Red Food.
Yeah, exactly.
Goon Rock. I mean, if that's not the name of a fucking Queensland pub band, then it
Goon
certainly
Rock's
should
fantastic.
be.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no space between the words. It's one word.
Yeah, for sure. So look, I think we live in a day and age where Motley Crue signed some fake document that says after this tour, this document we're signing means that we can never legally perform live ever again. So this is our final tour. You better come and watch us because we've signed this thing. Then like a year and a half later, they're back performing going, it wasn't legally binding, So people go on hiatuses or break up all the time, do some fake shit, and then they're back within 18 months.
John Farnham had 17 farewell tours.
Exactly. So they've stuck to their guns in not performing anymore. So that I do respect. But look, LMFAO, for those that don't know, it's a duo of Red Foo and his nephew Sky Blue. So that's,
right there, that might explain the mysterious lack of new music.
Red Foo's
nobody can piss you off like family members, and it's quite possible that they just did a year of touring with your fucking uncle and your nephew and just went, "Fuck,
I'm fucking
this
done."
shit.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Red Foo is the youngest son of Motown founder Berry Gordy Jr. So even though he's Sky Blue's uncle, there's only about a 10-year age gap between them.
Do you know which one's which? Because I don't, and I don't.
Red Foo is the one with the big hair and those whack glasses.
So the stupider, louder, sillier one is the older one.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So he's the youngest son of the Motown founder. So then, Sky Blue is like the kid of one of the older ones. So which is why.
So he's 10 years younger. Than that,
exactly.
So showed with the afro.
Yeah. Yes. So he's for sure. So Red Foo, he was like 35 when this dropped, and dare I say, it was his last shot at fame after a good 15 years of only very minor interest in his output. So I listened to some of his earlier rap songs from probably, maybe the 90s, and they weren't very good, and he was pretty terrible.
Sure.
So, but he kept chipping away, and then eventually he found his niche with some whack like leopard print shorts and whatever the fuck.
Didn't
so,
improve, just
No.
changed his outfit until he hit it big.
Yeah. So yeah, look, they've been quiet for over a decade at this point. Fantastic, but this has been streamed over 2 billion times on YouTube. So they're probably living large off whatever cut they get from that.
Yeah.
One would suggest.
I mean, that is a terrifying number of views for a song this shit.
Yep.
And it's equally unsettling that this was certified diamond in 2018 by the RIAA, e.g.
Yep.
10 times platinum.
Yeah.
However, you've got to do a lot better than 2 billion views these days if you want to crack the top 10 most watched songs on YouTube, or even the top 30 or top 50.
Yep.
I've got the top 10 right here. I'm not counting kids' songs.
Oh, good.
So yeah, any guesses as to what might be on the top 10?
Well, if once you strip fucking Baby Shark out of there, I think is that Despacito song still towards the top?
Yep, yeah, that's number one.
Oh, there you go.
7.9 billion views.
Jesus.
And then after that, you got Shape of You by Ed Sheeran,
Oh, fuck
5.8 billion. I know. See You Again by Wiz Khalifa, Uptown Funk by Mark Ronson, Gangnam Style still holding steady,
He was still-
4.5 billion views.
Still watching that.
Dame to Cosita by El Chombo, don't know what the fuck that is.
No.
Sugar by Maroon 5, Christ Almighty. Raw by Katy Perry. Counting Stars by One Republic.
Fuck.
The blandest rock band in fucking human history. And Sorry by Justin Bieber. You're still not forgiven. 3.5 billion views.
Jeepers.
In case you're depressed, as I was, that Shape of You, one of the shittest songs of the decade, has 5.7 billion views. Would you like to take a guess at the actual number one non-pop most viewed music video?
Not pop, like a rock song.
Oh, no, just not one of those,
Most viewed video of all time. That's
yeah,
right.
song video.
It is Baby Shark, or it's not?
It is Baby Shark with 11 billion views.
Jesus Christ.
Now, I'm not saying that makes it the best song in the world by any means, but I am saying that it conclusively demonstrates that the Baby Shark song is twice as good as Shape of You by Ed Sheeran and 6 times better than Party Rock Anthem.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, it's
agreed.
mathematically provable right
It is,
there.
absolutely.
Like, you can't argue with those numbers.
Absolutely right. No, completely agreed. Look, all fantastic. Look, the track features Lauren Bennett. You may. The thing is about this song,
I
you
don't know
remember
who that is.
fucking Redfoo and the other fucking dude.
I'd
But
forgotten
Lauren Bennett,
Doom
yeah.
Rock
So there's a chick in there.
as well.
There's a chick in there.
Okay.
So she's from the international girl group Paradiso Girls,
Okay.
who was an attempt at creating a European pussycat doll.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, Tom, it didn't work out. And it also features newcomer Goon Rock. Now,
Yes.
this was written for... Goon Rock penned this for Flow Rider.
Yes. Yep.
But for whatever reason, it didn't end up there, and LMFAO were able to turn it into the track it is today. Goon Rock, who co-wrote this, said, quote, "Even though it was for another artist, Flow Rider, by the time we realised that it was going to be for us, we really did sit and say, let's change the world." Now, did Party Rock Anthem by LMFAO featuring Lauren Bennett and Goon Rock change the world, Tom?
Well, let me ask you this, Ben.
Yeah.
Since the release of this song in April 2011, how often have you been shuffling?
Yeah, that's true. I've been
So
shuffling
I don't know
a
about
lot.
you, but it's pretty much an everyday thing for me.
Yeah.
No, seriously though, I think Party Rock Anthem by LMFAO changed the world in the Silicon Valley sense of tech startups changing the world, in the sense of making the people who did it extraordinarily wealthy and
Yeah.
giving everyone else the shits.
Yeah, for sure.
While not actually changing the world. I mean, technically it changed the world in the sense of the world is now different because this song existed and we all had to listen to it, but
Yeah.
not in the usual sense of, curing African famine or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, we've changed the world because previously when I ordered a pizza, it got delivered by it's someone that worked for Pizza Hut. Now it could be fucking anyone, a
Yes.
child on a bicycle. So it could happen. We've changed the world. We've really given consumers the choice
Yes.
on delivery of salami.
We disrupted, the taxi industry
Yeah.
because our drivers used to get health benefits
Yeah.
and, have to prove that they weren't serving time for rape charges.
Not
But now,
anymore. Changed the
we've
world.
really
Changed the
disrupted that industry.
So, look, I'm glad that they did change the world, Tom. I mean, look, one thing, though, credit where credit's due. I didn't think it was possible to make a song more annoying than Black Eyed Peas' 2000s output, but this gives it a run for its money, I think.
Yeah.
In terms of the sheer sort of like...
I'd put it above that, possibly because of the Goon Rock production. I can imagine this being done by Flow Rider and it being less irritating.
Yeah.
Just a silly kind of Florida party jam, like a Pitbull style thing, or like what's his face? Who was the British British Flow Rider? What's his name? We had him last week. Oh god, it's irritating.
Not Teo Cruz.
No, the guy who's got his facial hair drawn on with a text. It doesn't matter. Anyway, but yeah,
Jason Derulo.
Yes, Derulo, someone like that. But yeah, I think it's less irritating than Black Eyed Peas. Black Eyed Peas is the bottom of the country.
It's less
barrel.
irritating, but I think it's in the same league-ish. I think it's getting close. Like the mashup of disparate sort of like, you know, and then it's like, you know, that sort of shit that Black Eyed Peas like to do. Look, this is it's pretty annoying. That's what I'm going to say. It's so annoying that I don't hear it played in supermarkets. Are you the same, Tom? Like,
yeah,
you know,
I know what you mean. These they were everywhere for a year or two.
And now I think, like, I hear La Bouche, Sweet Dreams in shops more now than when it was released, I think. Like, you know, whereas I can't remember the last time I've heard any LMFAO in a supermarket or a shop at any point in the last decade.
And it's not like La Bouche are putting out a lot of new stuff these days.
No.
Oh, Sweet Dreams of Rhythm and Dancing. What's not
exactly.
to like?
Sweet Dreams of Passion Through the Night. The music video, conceptually, I'm into.
Sure.
Conceptually. The premise is Redfoo and Sky Blue. They're in comas from partying too much, and then they wake up 28 days later. It's like a 28 days later knockoff.
Yeah, so really super relevant and well-aged.
Let's make a music video off at this stage, 10-year-old film or whatever? I don't know.
I can't
remember. The whole...
not new at this point.
But anyway, the whole world's been infected by their song. So doing the shitty dance all day.
Shuffling.
Which inevitably leads to the collapse of society.
Shuffling's just skanking, by the way. It's just skanking to a shitty dance song.
So it's sort of, it's kind of like, okay, they've woken up from their coma and their songs become popular, and we're in like a post-apocalyptic thing because people are too busy doing their shitty dance. So conceptually, it's got a concept to it. It's like, okay, that's kind of interesting, but the song's fucking abysmal. So just watch it like Charmed with the sound off, I think, Tom. So did you know that LMFAO have a clothing line out?
I assumed as much because half of both of the videos that we're featuring this year just feature lots of close-ups of clothing with logos and stuff on it. So I assumed it was either them or someone they knew. Yeah,
exactly. So, party rock clothing, Tom. I'm not saying this is necessarily an Ed Hardy situation per se, but I don't know if I'd trust an individual to be an upstanding character if they were attired in party rock clothing.
Well, how about this, Ben? From a hipster perspective, how long till ironically wearing LMFAO party rock clothing? That can't. I reckon maybe 5 years. I
might be there now. If I can get some, I'm almost there.
If I had a body to rock a tank top, and I could maybe get one of those "Sorry for the Party" rocking shirts or whatever.
Yeah. What is it? I'm in Miami, bitch. If you can get that T-shirt that just says that really big, I think that might be good.
It was also the time I'd forgotten that, but those like canvas like slip-on Vans and those kind of espadrille, sort of shoes were really huge for a few years there, and they've got them as well. They keep showing close-ups of those. That's what I mean. I just like, this is obviously something that's connected to them. But,
I reckon I think you're right. I think by 2024, if you're rocking a "I'm in Miami, bitch" LMFAO T-shirt and a MAGA hat, you're probably doing it all right.
I'm saving my gold and Swarovski crystal plated Flow Rider Florida shaped neck jewellery. That's coming back. It's waiting for its time in the sun.
For sure, yep. Look, so the biggest problem for me with the LMFAO, and I'm sure it's the same with you, Tom, is that the whole thing is based on their party rock shtick.
Yes.
Every song or the album, the output.
That was the branding that pushed
it's all
them
based
over
on
line,
the party rock. We're partying, we're doing party stuff, we're party guys. But the problem with that is we already have Andrew WK.
Yeah.
He's the party guy. He's the dude that does the partying.
Yeah.
He's way better than these fucking dickheads will ever be.
Yeah,
So if you're going
absolutely.
to enter the party, I'm the party dude territory,
Yeah.
then you've got competition and you're going to come off second best.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not even particularly good party music.
No, it's terrible.
It's no better than any of the other Dr. Luke, Max Martin, Richard Dean Anderson conveyor belt shit we've been covering every month for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And it's a million miles from someone authentically party starting shit like the Beastie Boys or Andrew WK or Little John or someone. I mean, I guess this was really like a marketing dude's answer to the question: if we brand a group as party dudes and name all their songs about partying and give them stupid party-based lyrics,
Yep.
will that hypnotise enough smooth-brained teenagers to play it at parties and make us rich? You know, if we convince them that this is party music just through force of repetition of the word party.
Yep.
And the answer is, of course, yes. As 4 years of old Donny Pindick conclusively demonstrated, at any point, 30% of the population can be made to concretely believe a statement by prefacing it with the words, believe me, comma.
Yes.
So getting horny teens to download your track, this song will make chicks show up to your party for the next party, is a piece of piss by comparison to that.
Absolutely.
I mean, to me, this stuff really, it seems like a sort of watered down version of the sort of mainstreamization of kind of Vice magazine sort of, fucking swap shop, streetwear, laneway party, urban kind of, silly, slightly retro tinged, that kind of culture, which was already sort of, 5 years, 10 years past its kind of coolness date at this point anyway, but it's sort of like a mainstream version of that, which is like you say, Andrew WK was kind of the authentic version of that from, pre 5 years earlier than this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And its music is obviously way better anyway.
Oh, look, if someone is blasting, She Is Beautiful, that's the sort of song that makes you want to crush a six-pack in about 15 minutes and jump out of a window.
Absolutely, yeah.
And just, go completely apeshit. I don't think there's any song from LMFAO that would make me want to do anything than
No.
maybe...
I mean, Andrew WK is a legitimate party expert. He does like TED Talks about the philosophy of being a party. Like,
the dude rules. These guys don't.
They just put on a stupid haircut. That does not make you a fucking party dude.
Yeah. Look, worldwide, this was the second best-selling single of 2011, following Rolling in the Deep by Adele. So, look, they obviously know what they're doing, and they were co-writers on this, so they may well be living off the proceeds of this very
That
day.
may be why they haven't done
Goon
anything,
Rock's
as
just
you
fu-
said.
yeah, exactly.
One
It's just-
album and you're done.
Yep, Goon Rock and Red Foo and the other Sky Blue, they're just going, yep, we've done everything we need to do. This must have some sublime lyrics, I assume, Tom.
Yo, I'm running through these hoes like Drano. I got that devilish flow, rock and roll, no halo. We party rock. Yeah, that's the crew that I'm reppin'. On the rise to the top, no lead in our Zeppelin. Now, I mean, he's really owning himself at a frightening rate here.
Yeah.
He has the same effect on women as drinking liquid drain cleaner.
Yeah.
He's mentioning rock and roll twice in 4 lines, highlighting its total and complete absence in this song.
Yeah.
Then saying, there's no lead in our Zeppelin, which can really only be taken to mean 2 things. One, we are absolute dog shit when compared to Led Zeppelin, especially when it comes to rocking a party. And 2, we both suffer from impotence. Those last 2 statements summarise their music far better than I could. This is definitely the musical equivalent of crashing a party wearing an I Hate Led Zeppelin shirt while proudly waving your flaccid penis.
Yeah, look, in much the same way
With an afro.
Yeah, look, I don't know, Tom, but Lady Gaga's sort of inclusivity for everyone anthem we've discovered was actually a song about her plan for a master race.
Yes.
In much the same way as this sort of rocking the party song, it's actually a song about erectile dysfunction.
True. Or given that these guys are a man and his uncle, it's possible that this might be a sneak subtextual way to try and get teenagers to abstain from sex and drinking by making partying look so desperately uncool that everybody just wants to pack up and go home.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen to some music on their headphones in their bedroom at a sensible volume.
I think if I showed up to a party and Red Foo was there, you would just go home, wouldn't you? You'd just be like, "No, this is not for me.
Pretty
This is not for me."
Sure.
Absolutely.
all right.
Anything
Well,
else
that's
on that?
enough about those twats. What have we got next?
Now for an abrupt gear change, Tom. It's Adele with Someone Like You.
Another big thumper. This is 7 weeks.
Yeah.
This was another big one.
Now, Adele is smart, Tom.
Yes.
Adele is very, very smart. Boring as fuck, adult contemporary sells records.
Yeah, just ask Nora Jones or
Nora
Dido. Fucking hell.
Jones, Celine Dion, these people have proven again and again, you just churn out something pretty bland, pretty generic, and you're going to sell a fuckload. Look, she wasn't young. Like, she was a young artist as well at the time, you know. She was never sort of, I'm a young, edgy artist that does some sort of like alt rock and alt stuff, and and then as I get older, I sort of develop into sort of more of this sort of adult, sort of contemporary thing I'm growing with my audience. You know, she never leaned into this sound as she got older. She was doing this from the beginning, pretty much.
Yeah.
Just sort of like, straight off the bat, here's some bullshit for fucking dinner parties and old people.
That's right.
And I respect that, because she's gone straight for it.
No, I do a bit as well. I do. Look, I know how much you love a piano ballad, Ben.
Yeah, I do.
If there's one song you love. And I got to say, whatever you may or may not like about it, this is the real deal. It is just piano and vocal.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. Like, I'm not... Oh, damn it, I should have checked that. Is it her playing the piano?
No.
It's not her, but she does. She did.
But
write
I think she
the
can
song.
write it. I think she can,
Yeah,
but I think
yeah.
it's a dude in the
Yeah,
studio.
but
still.
yeah, so
The
it could
co-writer,
be.
yeah.
It could be. It's legitimate singer-songwriter in the sense that she could perform this live on her own with this song, probably. And it was the first pure piano ballad to ever top the Billboard Hot 100.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was. This was her first UK number one. But it was her second US number one after Rolling in the Deep, which was a big hit over there. I think that would have been like a number 2 here or something.
Rolling in the deep.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, she's doing the old Taylor Swift on this one, Tom. She's mining past relationships for material for what seems like forever. I think that's a bit of an Adele thing. But look, she did split with someone just before writing this song. So I think that was the source material for this. And she did get divorced in 2021, so I believe that the album that she released quite recently, she was able to mine that failed relationship for more material. So it's a cursed kind of life, though, isn't it, Tom? I feel like you fall in love, it doesn't work out, you're heartbroken, but you've got material for your next album. But you fall in love, it does work out, and you've got no material for any future albums. So it's like you're happy in love, but your career's fucked because you've got nothing to write about, or you've got great material, but you're constantly breaking up.
I have thought about this before, like whether it becomes a sort of self-fulfilling prophecy for some artists. Like, I was thinking about Judith Lucy, who has essentially made an entire career out of her stand-up comedy is just about the last terrible thing that happened to her.
Yeah.
And I mean, while it does provide her an endless string of things to do, stand-up shows about...
Live the terrible stuff.
Yeah, and also I start to wonder if maybe psychologically, like by endlessly focusing on these things, you are just setting yourself up for this to happen to you again the next time.
Yeah.
You know, rather than whereas most of us would just go, well, that sucked. I guess I'll move on.
Yeah.
You spend a year in the studio trying to remember every detail of your last failed relationship, and then unconsciously you go out in the world and look for another one, just like the one you were just thinking about. You know, I mean, as she said here. It's just sort of about, I met the love of my life and I'll never find anyone like him again, but we just weren't right for each other and I think we just destroyed it too much to ever be able to go back to it again in the future. We completely happened by accident. That's what I mean by glory days and stuff like that in the song. It was never really meant to happen. I don't think we ever felt like that about each other at the beginning and it just turned into it. The first chorus of the last chorus, because it's repeated... I'm actually crying in it, which makes me feel really a bit sort of when I listen to it. But it's really, really beautiful. I don't think I'll ever write a nice or a better song. I think it might be my song, which is a weird combination of sort of pride and modesty anyway,
Absolutely.
But I mean, it is a good delivery of the vocals. I found myself listening to it, trying to pick the bit where she was crying. There's a couple of bits where it sounds like she might be, genuinely affected by what she's singing about. But.
Yeah, absolutely. No, for sure. Like, I think you're right, though. It is really difficult. I'm sure there's a lot of artists in music, film, the visual arts, whatever it may be, that you need that sort of, you need the shitty circumstances, or you need the poverty, or you need whatever. There's certainly people that I think sort of, once you've made it, the quality of their work deteriorates. If you know what I mean.
Or then all their albums start to become about what it's like being on tour. Because they're not doing anything else, and that's the only thing that's fucking happening to them.
Yeah, I think Guns N' Roses are probably the perfect example, aren't they? Appetite for Destruction's like people that are literally living in a shipping container and, are just living
selling
the
each other
trashiest
heroin
fucking dudes.
Yeah.
And they write a classic rock record, and then within the couple of years before the next one, they're all the biggest band in the world.
Yeah.
They're all millionaires. They've got more money than they know what to do with. They've all got drug problems, and then they just churn out bloated bullshit for the rest of their lives. So,
and then before you know it, you've been replaced by a guy with a 21-piece feed bucket on his fucking head.
So you're sort of like, but that's the thing though. Do you really want to live that life, or it's like I'm in abject poverty my entire life, and I'm always struggling to sort of churn out something. I'm doing something quality, but
or like that Eminem and Rihanna song that we covered a couple of episodes ago, which was about sort of domestic violence, essentially. Like, I mean, okay, that's a sort of affecting, powerful topic for one song, but you really wouldn't want to do a whole album about that, would you? I mean, that's tough times, like spending that much time rehashing that shit. That's what psychologists are for.
Oh, exactly. So, look, it's safe to say this song isn't for me personally, but I do actually like Adele. Look, I'm not a massive fan of her music, but I remember seeing her on some of those British panel shows. I was living in the UK, I think, around this time, either when this album came out or just before with the previous one. She was quite funny, didn't seem to take herself too seriously, quite light-hearted.
In that sort of British way,
made
sort
a lot
of
of
self-deprecating.
Yeah. So I was and it was sort of interesting that she rode that line of releasing this really serious, emotional music that hard on her sleeve, this is my real life, but then sort of, at least at that time, I'm not sure what she's like in interviews now, but certainly at that time she was very light-hearted and seemed like quite a someone that you could easily to talk to and whatnot. So certainly always liked Adele because of that. So I'm not sure, as I said, if she's super serious now, but I don't know, whatever. Maybe after singing about this sort of shit for 15 years, she might be like, I'm a bit more battle-hardened. I don't know, but
I know what you mean. I sort of find it more likeable when an artist takes their work possibly too seriously, but then doesn't take themselves too seriously, as opposed to someone who writes fucking, disposable crap and then takes themselves super seriously. That is a much less appealing combination.
Oh, for sure. You should take, as an artist, you should take your work seriously, or at least, put your most into it.
Yeah,
when talking about it, you can be quite, hey,
or it doesn't mean you have to take yourself super seriously. You can take your work seriously.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Like this Adele approach is my preferred position over your Black Eyed Peas thing, where it's like churning out the worst garbage ever, and in the interview it sounds like they've fucking, saved the planet or something like that.
The next 9/11 are going to need you.
People need us
write
to
the theme song.
Exactly. So
Look, Adele was responsible for Skyfall, which I do like that song. I've got to admit, I think that's the best Bond song in many a year.
Yep.
I would say Since You Know My Name by Chris Cornell, but many people would probably go even further back, perhaps to Die Another Day by Madonna, or Kid Rock's Wiggity Spy Spy, which he wrote for a Bond film that only exists in my head. Unfortunately.
I'm spying.
Spying down the road with my hand on the wheel. Coke in my brain and seeing how my genitals feel, because I never take my fucking hand off them. Look, I'm like you. This isn't my favourite style of music, but I do like her, and sometimes one of these will come on and it'll just hit me at the right angle, and I do, I mean, also that, who doesn't like the first word of the song, Hello? She delivers that. It's a great first word of a song.
I really wish, though, that David Guetta would just interject and put, 140 BPMs under this. It'd be so much better, don't you think?
Change the song's got one rude word in it, say she says ass at one point, he could change that to grass and do a whole remix, a family-friendly remix.
So look, Adele graduated from the Brit School Performing Arts and Technology in Croydon in May of 2006.
Sure.
And she was classmates with Leona Lewis and Jessie J. Imagine that. It'd be such a... I hope they did like a 3-piece sort of girl group. Just sort of, that'd be great.
Who was Leona Lewis again?
She was, remember, like 2 weeks ago, we had her on there. She won like X Factor UK or something like that.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, so we've spoken about her. She looks sort of a bit like a paddle pop line or something like that. She does a bit of erotic piano, so yeah, that's her.
Yep.
So this was the most popular karaoke song in the UK of both 2011 and 2012.
That's
Now,
ambitious.
That's what I'm about to say. Adele can sing. She's a very good singer. I will give her that. She has a very good voice. And this is, this song and most of her songs have quite the vocal range. So I can only imagine how many completely butchered to all fuck karaoke versions of this there must have been over that 2-year period. I mean, I can't imagine going to karaoke and saying, I'm going to do that Adele song, because you're going to fuck it up.
Oh, fuck yeah.
You got to do Crazy Town, don't you? You do that. Come, my lady, come. I mean, the original of that sounds garbage, so you can't really do
Cowboy
worse
by
than that.
Kid Rock.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll probably actually improve it.
Yeah. So the second most popular song was Carly Rae Jepsen's "Call Me Maybe," which I think we can agree is the better song. So yeah.
I thought that might have been the number one. That's catchy as a motherfucker.
Yeah,
that's
it's fucking great. So
she's not too bad. I don't know.
This is off 21. So
Yes.
Adele names all her albums after the age that she was when she wrote the majority of the songs. I think when she composed them.
So she was pretty young when she
Yeah,
did
exactly. Yep. So she penned these when she was 21. So I like it. I like that idea. Takes any need for creativity out of the equation when it comes to the new album. I wrote these songs last year. I was 34. Done.
Taylor
34.
Swift do that as well?
Oh, probably. She probably fucking aped this shit. Yeah, I don't know. But I think it's pretty good. And also, if you don't know which order one of those artists that have a lot, like, did Daydream Nation come before, Sister? I can't fucking remember. But with this, it's just like 21 comes before 20. If you can count, you can know which one's the oldest.
That's true.
Adele
Although
album.
there's nothing that says you have to do it in chronological order.
No.
I mean, you might
She's
be
a
a
time
clue
traveller.
that she's starting to run out of ideas if she starts calling her albums 7 or
Yeah.
something like that.
Oh,
like,
exactly. She's been getting some material from the olden days. I do like people that don't stick for things for a while. Like Led Zeppelin had like 1, 2, 3, 4. Then they're just like going 5. It's like, no, it's houses
great.
the whole.
My favourite one is fucking Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, where they were like, "We're sick of being the Beatles. We're going to go into the studio. We're going to detach ourselves from the Beatles by coming up with this whole new concept of this." So they invented this band and stuff, and then like the first 2 songs on the album are about from the point of view of this fictional band, and then they were like, "Ah, fuck that shit."
Fuck it, we're
The
done.
rest of the album's just back to being the
done.
Beatles again.
Yeah, exactly. It's great. Yeah,
Sure. I mean, because if they had stuck with that, it probably wouldn't have been as good of an album. They would have stuck with this concept just to see it through. And then before you know it, you end up with Houses of the Holy by Kiss or something like that. And nobody wants that.
And I'm a
even
massive
Kiss,
fan
presumably.
of when bands are sort of like, we've decided to not do an album. We're going to do like 3 EPs, and then at the end we're going to sort of put the songs to, we'll release an EP now of 4 songs, we're going to do another one in a year and then another one, and they announce this stuff and then they do the first one and then it's just scrapped, and like part 2 and 3 never come out. It's just like great.
Sorry, I just should say there, because I rarely pick up my own mistakes, Houses of the Holy is Jimmy Page, I think.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin.
Yeah. I'm thinking of songs from music from The Elder, which was a Kiss concept album based on a fantasy movie that they presumably thought was going to come out or be made at some point, but never actually came out.
Good.
So it's a concept album
Based on a film,
based on a film that doesn't exist. So anyway,
absolutely. Now, Adele, this year, 2022, she won Best Artist at the Brit Awards this year, which is great.
Still kicking
New category. because they decided to sort of ditch the best male and best female
Yeah.
artists and just have best artists. So when Adele accepted her award, she said, "I love being a woman." Now, to show how far we've sunk as a society, there were a handful of weirdos deemed this to be, quote, transphobic, and there were certain corners of the media, particularly in the UK, I think some of those shitty tabloid presses that were like, there was significant backlash against Adele for saying
we
these
read
things.
one
Yeah,
dickhead
exactly.
on Twitter saying...
Exactly right. So I don't think there was any real backlash, but certainly some people feel the need to say, oh, yeah, saying I'm a woman now is apparently offensive, and then the media takes the next step of reporting on that and saying, oh, no,
God damn it.
Adele. So
Journalists should be banned from looking at Twitter.
I think so.
Ever.
Well, that's I think the point I was trying to make, that journalism is not just reading a Twitter feed and saying
It didn't
two
used to
people.
be.
No, it is now. The
Didn't
Daily
used
Mail
to
is
be.
just like two people said this thing, so that represents the opinion of many. So
Yeah.
look, I think obviously that getting rid of best male and female and having a best artist award, it makes sense.
Sure.
That's obviously what you do in this day and age because it's inclusive of everyone. Fantastic. And Adele, yeah, look, she probably sold the most records and probably was the best artist last year. So good stuff. Any lyrical highlights of this?
This was written by Adele with Dan Wilson, who's also written for Taylor Swift and Nas via Weezer and Halsey, and he's done other stuff with Adele too. But clearly it's her baby, lyrically. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you too. Don't forgive me, I beg. I remember you said, sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. I mean, that's not exactly quote of the year there.
No.
Maybe he was better in the sack or at stirring the risotto than he was at summarising relationships. But yeah, I think these lyrics are not terrible. They're a little bit unremarkable. Like a lot of her stuff that I've heard, it's really about the delivery. It's about the...
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, generally I'd say if you can convey emotion effectively through your voice... If in doubt for words, just say something heartfelt as honestly as possible from one consistent perspective.
Yep.
At least people will identify with it, even if it doesn't sparkle with wit like Morrissey or something, at least people will go, yeah, Sometimes it does last in love, but sometimes it does hurt instead.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you can't argue with that statement because, some might say that's because it's bloody obvious, but by the same token, she's obviously speaking from the heart there, so,
Oh, we've had worse lyrics on this
fuck
show.
yeah, absolutely. At least it's about a thing that happened to her.
Yeah, exactly, rather than just something that someone made up. And when
honey got some boobies like wow, 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 Might be the worst one we've had this decade so far.
It's probably I hope when Will.i.am dies, it just says Will.i.am, previously known as Will 1X, and then it says under there,
honey, you got
some boobies like wow, wow, wow. So,
and then maybe a picture of some tits.
I might get that on my gravestone. I think so. Why not? Cool. All right. Anything else to say about that?
No.
So, up next, 15th of August for 8 weeks, it's Gautier and Kimbra, somebody that I used to know.
Yeah, another fucking massive hit, another
Heaps.
2-month hit, yeah.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to lie, Tom, this song, it's a bit of a sore point for me personally.
Yeah.
We've had a few lawsuit songs over the years that we've spoken about.
True.
People claiming a cut of a popular song because it had, 2 of the same notes or like 3 words of some bullshit they wrote 2 decades ago that no one's ever heard of. But I wrote and released a song in 2010 that, well, let's just say was very, very similar to this track.
Oh, really?
Yeah, titled Some Cunt That I Used to Bone. And I sued, and it was thrown out of court, and the judge said there is no possibility anyone has heard this so-called music. And that
Harsh words.
still hurts.
Harsh
So
words from the judge there.
I'm not sure that I can talk about this song objectively, Tom. But
Perhaps he just didn't like the language.
he might not have, yeah, exactly. So, that aside, though, are Gautier and Kimbra the John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John of the 2010s?
Well, from the song, it seems that they don't like each other very much. I hope their attitude was a bit more cordial.
Yep.
Because this song is not exactly Wella,
Exactly.
Tell me more, tell me more.
No,
Did
for
she
sure.
give you permission to have sex with her?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's more consensual in this song, and I think that they're sort of... Oh, they seem,
No, but
yeah.
it's more antagonistic.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
This is definitely about after the relationship,
Yes.
not the will she let you finger her in the back of your car
Exactly right.
stage.
Exactly. So, look, what's the story of these two? First things first, Gautier, it's not his real name. It's Scrotier. They said that wasn't commercially viable stage name, so we had to change it to Gautier. And same with Kimbra. Her name's Warren Von Bibra. Ran a car yard out of Launceston for several years. So
Yeah, as anyone from Launceston will tell you, it's not a good idea to fight a legal battle, or indeed any kind of battle, against Baron Von Bibra.
no.
Because that guy lost his mind in the war on prices decades ago, running
Yep.
around Speedy Tyres car park at 2 a.m. with a neck lease made of ears.
Oh, exactly.
So consequently, Kimbra changed her name to Kimbra.
Yeah, I think
instead.
so. That's the... Yeah, I mean, you're never going to win a war on prices, I think. People don't...
No.
We don't
They
talk
consider the
about-
human cost.
We don't think about the human cost. We don't talk about those that fought a war on prices. They come home and try and live in a society with regular prices, and they just can't assimilate back
They
in there.
can't,
So.
you know.
So Gautier was born in Belgium.
Okay.
Moved to Australia when he was a child. Kimber is from New Zealand. I once cut in front of her unintentionally in line to get a drink at a museum gallery exhibition opening night thing.
Sure.
So apology. I'm sorry, Kimber, if you're listening. That was not intentional. I didn't see you there. I would have let you go ahead of me had I had known you were behind me. So apologies for that. So look, this was definitely what I'd call a sort of out of nowhere hit. Yeah, I mean,
Hit-wise, yes.
Yes, yeah.
Gautier was gaining some traction at this point, as was Kimbra. They were both sort of in the hipster
Yes.
music scene of the time.
Yeah.
But, yeah, for this to just suddenly become a fucking international massive hit was
Yeah.
strange. Like, that was weird.
yeah, I think that's what sort of what I mean. That sort of Gautier was sort of rocking the Triple J alt crowd. Kimber probably
Yeah,
doing something
even-
similar or
even
some other
more
stuff.
like sort of
Yeah.
art sample rock, you know,
Yes,
like
yes,
kind of
yes.
like the Avalanches or something like that. Like, yeah.
Yeah, so certainly, but yeah, wasn't really what you'd consider to be a mainstream artist in Australia.
No, he's also a one-man show,
yeah.
basically. He pretty much does it all on his own. Yeah.
So, and that's the thing. This wasn't just like, oh, this has broken through the sort of alternative music and become a number one hit in Australia. It was also a number one in the UK.
On the mainstream.
Yep, and the
hit
US.
charts, yeah.
And, you know, Gautier and Kimber were not known internationally
No.
at that point. And yeah, as I mentioned, he sort of had a few singles. And I don't know if Kimber had even released her first album at this stage. She was still sort of just releasing a few singles and a couple of cameos like this thing. So, and this is what I think you would call a viral hit.
Yes.
And by that, I don't mean like a viral hit in 2022 where a major label has made a TikTok video and just like film that and then put a dance in it, and they've cut 30 seconds off and then done like made it into an Instagram video and then put something on Facebook and put it on every social media site and then basically made everyone share the living shit out of it. So it's like, oh, it went viral on social media before it became a hit, and then we find out 6 months later that they'd been signed to a major label and it
Yep.
was all some sort of bullshit. Or something goes viral like, oh, it's a dude on a fucking skateboard, you know. It's like, okay, great. You know, this was like a legitimate sort of, I think, word of mouth, getting things passed on. It was sort of early-ish days of YouTube. Like, YouTube had only been around 5 years, so it wasn't sort of like, you know, it's as big as it was today. So, you know, it wasn't pre-planned, I think, to the extreme. So this is, I think, recorded at Gautier's house. He made the video himself, paid for that himself.
Wow.
Got a guest spot from someone that, you know, Kimber wasn't famous at that
No.
time, so just sort of someone that fit the bill. And look, he was basically sort of like, let's just see what happens with this, I guess. And the
Yeah.
next thing you know, yeah, it took off. So
Yeah, like you say, he'd had a few songs on the radio, like he'd been playing around the traps in, like, you know, in Perth and stuff.
yep,
But I mean, to go from that to this, and like you say, by contrast to that sort of fake viral shit, Gautier wrote, produced, and played this thing himself, like the rest of the album, except for the samples and the Kimbra bit. He said, I started with the Louis Bonfa sample, which is from a song called Seville from 1967, Then I found the drums, and after that I started working on the lyric and the melody and added the wobbly guitar sample. A few weeks later I came back to the session and decided on the chorus chord progression, wrote the chorus melody, and combined that with sounds like the Latin loop and some of the percussion and the flute sounds that further fill the space. At that point I hit a brick wall. I was thinking, this is pretty good, how can I get to the end really quickly? And I was trying to make lazy decisions to finish the song. I considered repeating the chorus, bridge, a change in tempo or key. I even considered finishing the song after the first chorus. But nothing felt like it was strong enough, so the third session was all about writing the female part and changing the perspective. The arrangement of Somebody is reflective of me moving towards using sounds that provide me with inspiration for a texture or a platform for an idea, and then coming up with my own original melodies and harmonic ideas to make it my own. I guess the balance of sounds taken from records and samples I created myself is perhaps 50-50.
Okay.
So he's saying, it's about half someone else's samples and half samples of my own playing.
Yep.
He doesn't mention the other major borrowed component of this song, which is Bar Bar Black Sheep.
Oh.
Played on a xylophone. I never noticed it before, but that's 100% there right from the start.
Oh,
That's
right.
the ding, 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 which is
nice.
how the song starts. But that's kind of why. I really like the song, I have to say. With the 90s long gone in the rear view, it's nice to see that the pop charts can still occasionally make room for a really unusual outre
Oh, yeah,
hit,
of course.
Not just to be number one, but to become so huge that people make endless meme tributes to that video, you know, and those two arty weirdos get to be world famous, even if only for 6 months before disappearing again. And I think it also really shows the difference between essentially just using someone else's melody but redubbing the words, as we keep seeing over and over again, and what he does here, which is taking parts of songs and collaging them into something legitimately new. This is not a cover of Seville or of Bar Bar Black Sheep. It's some strange original new thing with a weird song structure and a strange vocal line, which is why it's stuck in people's brains so much, I reckon. Yeah, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, look, exactly. And I think that's the thing with sample-based music, and we're so far behind in terms of legality and the creative process sort of melding, because you do see things like this, and, we've spoken about the Avalanches before, where, they've literally created something out of just throwaway op-shop records that no one gives a flying fuck about, yet when you try and get these samples cleared, it's like, oh, well, you've used 3 seconds of this thing from 50 years ago that no one cares about. We want this outrageous sum of money. And it sort of gets to a point where it's like, this isn't Lady Gaga, who's lifted basically the melody from Express Yourself. This is sort of, Gautier and the Avalanches and, it's DJ Shadow and those sorts of dudes.
It's genuine collage.
Taking bits from things that aren't well known and trying to put them into a whole new genre of music.
Well,
and that's
like Billie Eilish, using the bloody, the Australian traffic stop pedestrian walk sample of that to make, what is it, bad, to put in bad guy and stuff like that. If you do that, then you don't need to pay someone to make a sample if you can just keep the original up. Or if you can make Bar Bar Black Sheep into something, that shit's out of copyright, you can have Bar Bar Black Sheep.
For sure, yep. Obviously, Kookaburra sits in the old gum
don't
trees.
use that or they'll sue the fuck
they'll fuck you up. So, look, looking at all the dance, we've had a lot of Eurobeat sort of shit this week, a lot of dance heavy tracks. So this is a lot more, even though you mentioned a lot of samples in there, this is more of a minimal sort of affair.
Oh, definitely. It's very, what's the word, analog and lo-fi.
So it's a complete contrast to those other songs we've had. And also, the chorus doesn't kick in for ages. There's quite a long intro for this. Kimber only shows up in sort of the back half of the song. So it's sort of hard to pin down. When you look at what the general public were with this other shit, we want this Pitbull and J-Lo shit, or we want this, party rock anthem. It's it's hard to look at this and go, oh, there's nothing similar about these songs. So that's why it's such a unique sort of thing, I guess. So
there was a period in the just to get a bit graphic designing, there was a period in the from the early 90s through to the late 90s when people started making, I think fucking Train Spotting and shit was really influential. People started making book covers and magazine covers they just started to go, fuck, we've got to stand out more on the shelves. Let's just make everything fucking day glow. Let's just make everything as bright, absolute high contrast as we can get. I've still got books on my shelves that are like fluorescent yellow title on a fluorescent pink background with a fluorescent green picture or something on the front of it, which has nothing to do with the book. It
stands out.
It just to make it stand out on the shelf. And what happened was it gets to this saturation point where if everybody fucking does that, then the thing that stands out is a black and white cover. Then that stands right out. So what I'm saying is, if everything in the charts is the loudest, boobiest, craziest, wackiest shit that you can possibly have, then if you do a sort of lo-fi weird little thing, or like Adele, like a simple black and white video of one person singing a song about a thing that actually just happened to them, then it stands out like dog's balls.
For sure.
After the last 17 semi-identical auto-tuned Max Martin productions about falling in love in the club.
Exactly. And I think you can say the same thing about the music video. I mean, it's,
exactly.
Stop motion, painting, action.
Lo-fi.
I'm sure you've seen. Everyone has. It's been streamed 1.9 billion times on YouTube.
Yeah,
so that's a lot.
I mean, that's nearly as much as fucking.
No, it has. Yeah,
the party rockers in the house tonight.
Look, it's really memorable. It's not what I'd call a great music video. Like it's super memorable. Like him getting painted in the stop motion, and it's sort of. I don't, watch it and go, that's the greatest thing I've ever seen, but it's certainly iconic, I think, and it sort of serves the purpose of people go, I remember that video as well as the song.
It stuck in people's heads enough that it became a briefly memeable thing. There's like a Simpsons version and there's different, people did their own little versions of it.
Now, Gautier Tom made the decision to not monetize his work on YouTube.
How do you mean?
Well, he uploads his videos onto YouTube, and at the time, back in 2011, and probably his prior work as well, you get the option of do you want to play ads before your music videos or any video you upload.
God, I remember when that was optional.
So I don't think it is now. It clearly isn't.
Fucking oath it isn't.
But he selected to not do that. So some would say that's admirable. Others would say that's fucking stupid, depending on what side of the fence you sit on. Now, as I mentioned, the video's been viewed just shy of 2 billion times on YouTube, which would have netted Gautier a purported $10 million that he has missed out on by not monetizing his video.
Yeah, do the maths on that and see what YouTube
I guess you still have your integrity. Anyway, but look, it's one of those weird things, because I know that I read a couple of quotes about Gautier saying, look, there's so much advertising in the world, I didn't really want to have more advertising, I didn't want to be associated with that sort of thing. But look, it's not like if he had have taken 10 grand to have this song used in a shitty commercial for a Honda Accord or something, then I can understand that, because it's like your song is now associated with that thing forever. But having YouTube ads before your songs, I don't think, nobody really goes, oh, that song's associated with this shit or whatever. So,
well, they certainly don't now, because they're there whether you want them to be or not. I know what you mean, though. Yeah.
So
it's not the same as doing a fucking laundry detergent commercial where people are dancing around singing your song. Yeah.
Look, I'd just hate to see Gautier busking in the mall at some stage because he's short of cash, and knowing that this has been streamed 2 billion times and all of that money that he could have earned has just disappeared off into the ether. So, I don't know.
I'm assuming he must have got something for this. I mean, people did...
Not off YouTube, but
not off YouTube. I mean, people liked this a lot at the time. It came out in Australia at this point on the charts, but it continued to climb the charts in the US and the UK through 2012 and 2013. So it was still selling 2 years later. It was ultimately certified 14 times multi-platinum by the RIA.
Yeah.
So that's...
he's sold... Hopefully he's got a lot of money through digital
sales. Now, maybe he didn't monetise it because he didn't need to. I mean, I respect that. I don't think the video would have been improved by opening on
I'm sure he didn't.
Crystal.
I'm sure when he made it, though, he had someone said to you, dude, this is going to get streamed 2 billion times, you get your 2 cents of each view. Like, if he had known that, he probably would have been like, okay, maybe we can buy a couple of houses. But, at the time,
maybe we should both have a bottle of branded tequila hanging out of our ass or something.
Exactly.
If I'm painting on the wall, why don't I just paint a big Coca-Cola logo?
Yeah.
But, No, I know what you mean. It's a bit weird. I'd call this the Crash Test Dummies effect in the sense of this is such an unusual song with such a weird lo-fi,
Yep.
inexpensive video that it's impossible to imagine that either he or Kimbra could have thought that this would ever be a massive international
It'd be
number
streamed
one.
billions of times,
You'd be nuts to assume that. It's too weird. It's too, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so what's happening to him these days?
So look, Gautier hasn't actually released an album since the album that this song came off as a solo album.
Oh, it was a solo album. Okay.
So for the past 10 years or over at this stage, he hasn't released any solo work, but he continues to record and tour with his band, The Basics.
Okay.
So he still does that. So he's still actively involved in music. Kimbra also continues to release music. I guess both of them are working outside of the mainstream pop charts. I don't think they probably ever really had any interest or thought that they would be in the mainstream pop charts. So this would have been good exposure for Kimbra at the time when she was starting out, but she's obviously doing her own thing now. I hope that Gautier was able to buy a house off this. Has some studio in there that he's just able to record his music in there. So yeah, look, that's what they're up to these days. This was certainly a one of those unpredictable number ones, which shows that occasionally the charts can throw up something that you don't go, oh fuck, that's just the same boring bullshit.
Also, like the dude from the New Radicals that we mentioned a while back, I do think there's something admirable about people who get to sort of glimpse a level of fame long enough to maybe go, nah, that makes me feel a bit shit and doesn't suit me creatively.
Yeah, absolutely.
At all. I'm happy to just pay off the mortgage and step back behind the line rather than try and recreate that. Like, I'm happy to just work at this level. That was a rad fluke, and I'm happy to take the cash, but I'm not going to try and recreate it. I'm good with this.
I'm sure Gautier could have done another solo album 2 years later, trying to do something really similar to this, and but he didn't do that,
or tried to lean in a more poppy direction and try to. Hey, my brother saw him live around this time.
Oh yeah.
It might have even been before this came out, but he said that he seemed like a person who was not comfortable at all in front of a crowd of people, especially given that this whole album was, as you say, basically recorded in his bedroom. And maybe he just didn't like that. He didn't want to be, in front of people that often.
But you write and record music and think, I'm going to be playing this in front of 200 people maybe, or 100 people, or and I'm happy with that, and that's great. And then all of a sudden you've got 20,000 people at a festival singing, and you're going, oh, this isn't, don't really love it as much. So lyrical highlights.
Gautier stated that the song was, quote, definitely drawn from various experiences I've had in relationships breaking up in the aftermath and the memory of those different relationships and what they were and how they broke up and what's going on in everyone's minds. So when we found out that we could not make sense, well, you said that we would still be friends, but I'll admit that I was glad it was over. But you didn't have to cut me off, make out like it never happened and that we were nothing. And I don't even need your love, but you treat me like a stranger and that feels so rough. No, you didn't have to stoop so low, have your friends collect your records and then change your number. I guess that I don't need that though, now you're just somebody that I used to know. And I think maybe that's one of the reasons that it was a hit, is because the thing it has in common with these other cheesy-ass pop songs that we've been talking about is that now you're just somebody that I used to know. That one line, it's not a kind of yell-along chorus, but it does serve that same function of this kind of universally acknowledged emotion of that feeling of that switch between someone that you were deeply in love with at some point and now they're just a person that you used to know. Like, it's sort of... There's a kind of profundity and simplicity sometimes, and
Exactly right. Exactly. So, no, for sure. So, no, that's good. On one of Kimbra's subsequent solo albums, she co-wrote a song with the guitarist from the Dillinger Escape Plan. There you go. She's keeping it real.
Yeah, she was always the kind of hip... Yeah.
For sure. So, anything else about that one?
No, that's it for me.
All right, so that was, I think, 8 weeks of that one. So up next for, I think, just 1 week is Kelly Clarkson, Mr. Know-It-All. Now, this sucks shit. Yes, that's true.
That's Axel reminding us that Kelly Clarkson is one of our remaining
Now,
reality TV.
this is a weird one. For a start, it sounds dated as all fuck.
It sure does.
I thought it may have came out in 1998. Like, I had to double check I was listening to the same right song. I was like, when the fuck did this come out?
It's
it
sort of
sounds
like
terrible.
a Diet Sprite Alanis Morissette 10 years later.
Oh, God, it's fucking whack as hell.
I think, just the giveaway, the song also is available in a country version, which sort of wraps the whole sad story up in a convenient Kmart digipack, if
Absolutely.
you're wondering.
Look, I didn't spend too much time. I don't want to, like, on the Kelly Clarkson story.
No.
As you mentioned, with the Give Us Some Reggae, she won the first season of American Idol in 2002.
Yeah.
So at this point, she's been doing shit work for 20 years. She had a bunch of top 10 hits in Australia, but this is her first number one.
Yep.
So some of the other songs she had included the song Breakaway, which featured on the Princess Diaries 2 Royal Engagement. So we know that was a good one. But,
some have called her America's Guy Sebastian. And by some, I mean me, just then.
Just then. Yeah.
And
I've said it too. So it's the two of us.
That's
Just
right.
yeah. No.
The main difference is that Guy's song, I believe, was in Princess Diaries 3, Too Old for Andrew, or it might have been Princess Diaries 4, Snoop Vegas Gangbang. I always get those two films confused, but
Both very good.
She does. There is a certain thematic resemblance to Guy Sebastian.
Yeah.
In the sense they don't sound that similar, but I would rate their talents as about equal.
Yeah, but I'd say that's
and
fair. assessment.
their relevance and their sense of being weirdly displaced in time as well, of listening to a Guy Sebastian thing and going, this could be 1994 or 2014 because he's wearing the same jumper with the popped collar underneath, and
the music is so bland that it
generic,
sort of just fits into any time period. So
Anyway.
look, the song sucks. The music video is also boring. It was directed by Justin Francis and features a wall of doubt in the background. I don't know if you saw that
I
on
did
the music
notice,
video.
yes.
In which derogatory headlines about Clarkson have been posted from various newspapers over there.
Plastered all over.
Yeah,
the
plastered
wall.
all over the wall to sort of give her some sort of like, this is my wall of doubt, and that's going to spur me on and encourage me. If you zoom in, it includes one that reads, "Dumb cunt releases total shit," which was a headline from my short-lived newspaper, the Daily Invermain. So, if you look at that one. So that was my review of one of her earlier albums.
Yeah, I missed that one, but I mean, they're not even real headlines because, for a start, she hasn't appeared in any for 8 years at this point.
Yep.
So it's just computer printout of fake headlines that aren't even really bad, like why is Kelly Clarkson still single and when is the new song coming out?
No.
I don't know if these people ever saw a tabloid newspaper before, but you do not get on the front cover unless you fall down the stairs leaving a methadone clinic because you're crying about your divorce and your pants fall down so everyone can see your lipo scars.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's not a good sign that the most interesting thing in this entire song and video combined is that for maybe 0.8 of a second, Clarkson is using some sort of Sony branded internet TV remote control with a keyboard on it to browse web pages on her TV, which was apparently the high-tech future of 2011. Yeah. At first I thought it was a BlackBerry, which would have fitted perfectly with the weird decade-late vibe of the entire thing. That's why I was like, oh, that's a BlackBerry. No, it's not. It's some weird, Sony fucking thing anyway.
The absolute best product placement that I love in music videos is the technology that just never took off.
Yes, exactly.
It's just complete garbage. So, and the other thing about that is, like, you do watch... I mean, this is a thing, like... We've spoken shit about Michael Jackson before because, he's obviously a pedophile. But you watch, something like the Thriller music video, and that's like a timeless, like, look at, we've put in this sort of, he's got the dance routine and there's the whole zombie fucking thing. And people go, you can watch that in 20 years' time and go, oh, that was a cool idea and they did it. And there's a heap of other music videos throughout, as we spoke before about MC Hammer, Too Legit to Quit. You can watch that today, you can watch it in 20 years' time. It's great.
Timeless.
But a lot of these ones that are heavy on the product placement, like in 10 years' time, people are going to just watch. I mean, like this, we watch this and go, what the fuck is... I can't remember anything apart from the music video, apart from this bullshit, like, sort of weird Kelly Clarkson trying to surf the internet on her TV.
Yeah, it's not just dated, it's distractingly dated.
Exactly.
It's like when someone pulls out a pager in an old film and you're like, hang on, what are they doing? Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're going to fucking... Yeah. Or that fucking... what's it? That Kesha video from a couple of weeks ago where she's on the DJs at the nightclub are on plentyoffish.com.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
They're supposed to be DJing a concert. Instead, they're on the world's cheesiest, low-rentest dating site, you know.
Or like when Kelly was trying to send Nelly a text on an Excel spreadsheet. I mean, you just look at this and it's sort of... The product placement pays for the video at the time, but it instantly dates it, so it has no longevity. No one's going to look at what's the best video of all time. A lot of people are going to be not looking at those ones and go, well, actually, it was a pretty good video, but then there's about 8 product placement things that just made it fucking garbage. So, look. Anyway, Kelly Clarkson, apart from this song, she also appears in the film From Justin to Kelly, Tom.
She sure does.
Which, at this point, has been in IMDb's bottom 20 films of all time for 2 decades at this point.
Yep.
So it features Kelly Clarkson and Justin Greene, who were contractually obliged to participate in the movie because of their commitment to American Idol, which she won, and I don't know whether he came second or whatever, but yeah. So something's going to be good when the participants are only there due to contractual obligations arising from something completely unrelated.
And if you haven't seen the film, their white-hot sexual chemistry really does say contractual obligation all over it.
It is horrible. So,
in fact, I had to check this on the internet, but their level of chemistry was such that I assumed that one or both of them was gay.
Yeah.
But I think they aren't. I think they're both straight. They just
yeah.
have that level of chemistry and acting skills.
Yeah. So Clarkson begged to be allowed out of this, which is a good sign. She's just won X Factor, and she's like, great. They're like, you get to record this album. She's like, oh, great, I'm looking forward to doing that. Oh, you also have to be in a major Hollywood motion picture. And she's like, fuck no, I want to get out of here. The film actually set a record for the shortest gap between theatrical premiere and home video DVD release, 29 days.
Wow.
So it was released in the theatre, and the distance between opening day and when you could get that as a DVD was less than a month. So it shows how good it was.
mean, it's easy to take the piss, but it does definitely go to show how fucking far down reality TV has sunk from the glory days of 2002.
Yep.
That part of the prize was not just winning a TV competition and getting a legitimate, if not really deserved by your level of talent, musical career, but also appearing in a theatrically released movie.
Yeah, that went to the theatres.
That cost millions of dollars to make. I mean, at least a few $1 million to make.
Yeah, low.
Not on Justin's salary, but they probably got paid in some hats, but still.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I think the members of Scandalous were given 20% off crab sticks at the local hot chip shop in return for their fame, but yeah.
Unlimited Twiggy sticks from West Delhi. Now, does this have any lyrical highlights? I assume it does.
Well, this was written by Esther Dean again.
Oh.
As already mentioned this year.
Good.
Dante Jones, Brian Kennedy, and Brett James. Now, none of those people are Clarkson. So, 10 years out of Idol and still no desire to write her own songs.
No.
On the plus side means you can't blame her for lyrics like, Mr. Know-It-All, will you think you know it all, but you don't know a thing at all. Ain't it something y'all? When somebody tells you something about you, think that they know you more than you do, so you take it down, another pill to swallow.
Great.
Now, I mean, we've had some sketchy lyrics on this podcast, but I think that's legitimately the first time I've ever heard a song start by rhyming the same word 4 times in succession.
Yep.
That's all you do swallow. I mean, it's an interesting rhyme scheme. I'm curious to see where it goes. Oh, it goes nowhere. It's a piece of shit. But yeah, I'm not getting a lot of respect for Esther Dean. She's not coming out of the gate particularly strong here.
She's awful. All the songs she's written we've talked about thus far are terrible.
Oh, look, can we please move on to something with a bit more artistic integrity, Ben?
We can. This next one is for 6 weeks, Tom. It's LMFAO are back! We're sexy and I know it, and Jesus fucking Christ, this is worse than the last one. Now this, I think technically it isn't a novelty song, but it's as close to a novelty song as one can get, I think. So it's sort of like, I guess you have the novelty song thing, and then you're trying. You've got like a magnet, two opposite things, and you're trying to push it together so they can never quite touch, but it's as close as you can get.
I think this asks another question, which is like, can you be a novelty act that doesn't release novelty songs?
Yeah,
you know, like can you?
That's true.
If you're a gimmick based band, does that mean all of your songs are novelty songs, or are they just normal songs released by a gimmick band? I mean, it's hard to say.
That's a very fair question, because you're right. They are definitely a novelty band. So
they're shtick based, like you say. This guy was around for like 15 years. Nobody had any interest in him. So then they tripped over this. Some guy had this party shtick, and they were going to give it to Flo Rida. He didn't want it because it's dumb, and they went, "Yay, we'll grab that." And then it somehow clicked, and then they were stuck in that mode for a whole year. It drove them crazy. They never wanted to talk to each other again, and that was the end of their career.
Yeah. You know. Look, all I can say is thank fuck they're on hiatus, hopefully permanently. But yeah, look, I don't know. I think you probably maybe this is a novelty song. I don't know. It doesn't. You know, a novelty song. I think of like that Bob the Builder bullshit, or like Crazy Frog doing some crap, or like
or
the Macarena. Or, exactly. So, but I mean, this is pretty fucking.
I know what you mean. It's as close as you can get, sort of like once again. Just if anyone in the audience is bored at work one day, take a moment, pause the podcast, and imagine touring the world in a party rock dance band which consists of just you and your uncle. Just any one of your uncles. Just pick an uncle or an auntie. Now, in case you think that's not weird enough, then also imagine that you will be appearing in a music video with your uncle, and you'll both be wearing nothing except for tiny leopard print budgie smugglers, and flopping your dicks around with a forthright vigour last seen in MC Hammer's Pumps and a Bump video, which essentially ended his career.
Yeah.
Oh, and Ron Jeremy will be there wearing a G-Shock watch because it was 2011 and some traditions had to be legally observed in order to make a video.
Forgot about that.
I'm just not sure how much dick waggling I'd want to do in front of any of my uncles, or indeed anyone in that world at all.
No, look, I guess in Red Foo's defence, though, he didn't have an erection like MC Hammer did in Pumps and a Bump.
No. I mean, it would have been pretty difficult to maintain one with that level of waggling. I mean, this is basically just a dick waggle off at the end. Although I'll give one guy credit. There's some backup dancer who, when they're doing a walk off in another 2011 shout out, which is Zoolander, obviously. There's one backup dancer who's wearing shorts with no top on, and he does a one-handed one-handed breakdancing handstand, and then with his other hand rips his shorts off stripper style to reveal underpants. That's true. On one hand, so that's more interesting than anything else the band do in the entire video. Definitely. It's a bit like that Kelly Clarkson thing. Your brain becomes weirdly focused on minutiae when the song is boring the piss out of you.
Exactly. Yeah. So look, the bit in the middle of this song where it's just Red Foo going wiggle, 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 wiggle,
Jesus,
wiggle, 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 yeah. I mean, that's some of the worst music I've heard this side of Will.i.am, and it's like the group was only put together for some of the worst attempts at dance crazes since Lost Del Mar. So it feels like, let's do a wiggle fucking bit and we'll get a dance craze. That's what I mean.
It's like they're trying to get drunk teenagers at parties to in a feedback loop where they buy your shit and then you do more drunk teenagers parties and so forth. Yeah.
Look, can you remember a few years ago when Red Foo was selected to be a host in Australia for one of those shitty TV shows? He was like a judge on I never watched those shows, but I think he was a judge on X Factor or something like that. And so he was in Sydney and he was at a bar and someone threw a glass at Red Foo. Can you remember that? No. And he had to go to court, I believe, the person that tried to glass Red Foo. And look, the judge was asked, was there any provocation for this sort of thing? Now, I'm not sure what happened. I think the person ultimately was convicted, and hopefully it was just a minor fine or whatever. But I think that if the person had a good lawyer, that when the judge said, was there any provocation, you just have to play this video and no jury would convict, I think, based off that. They would say, yeah, you're right, that guy was within his rights to throw a glass at Red Foo, because that music is some of the worst shit I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, I mean, contrary to what people in other countries seem to believe, Australian pubs, certainly outside of the deep, rural, far north Queensland areas, are very civilised places. You have to work pretty hard to get someone to throw a glass at your head in a bar.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Like, you would have to be, unless that person doing it was deranged, which is possible, but pretty unlikely. It seems more likely that he was being very, very annoying, which, when you watch these music videos, is fairly easy to imagine.
Yeah, definitely.
So, look, who knows? Maybe he was trying to party rock a little bit too hard and waggling his dick at some guy's girlfriend or something.
No doubt.
I'm not saying you should definitely throw a glass at his head if you see him next, but I'm saying, a full can of piss.
Look, I think if you're in a situation where a loved one is being held at gunpoint, and the gunman says to you, "You need to throw a glass at someone in this bar, otherwise we will kill."
Yep. So pick someone.
You got to pick someone, and Red Foo's at that bar.
Yeah, wearing his
That's who you're picking.
Oh,
that's
definitely.
who you're picking.
Yeah.
10 times out of 10, Tom, that's who I'm picking. So.
Look, for what it's worth, I like this better than the last one.
Jesus.
That's a very low bar. It's obviously meant to be. It's obviously meant to be a ridiculous joke, which coincidentally is how I like to remember LMFAO's entire career, all 12 months of it. I mean, unless he actually thinks he's sexy and he knows it, in which case he needs immediate restraint and sedation for the safety of both himself and those around him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, lyrically, this is credited to George Matthew Robertson, 8KY, Audiobot, Aaron Beck, Listen B, and Red Foo.
Yeah.
So half a dozen people were required to write this bad boy. Check it out, wiggle, 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 yeah, 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 do the wiggle man, I do the wiggle man, yeah, I'm sexy and I know it, yeah.
You're right, that is better than the other ones.
I mean, I'm glad they didn't have merely 5 people, but they brought the extra guy on board for that. But yeah. No, I'm not saying it's any good. I'm just saying at a very basic level, for some reason, I find this slightly less annoying than the other one, but it's a fucking close run thing, I'll tell you what.
Oh, absolutely.
Anyway.
Good. So that was number 1 for fucking ever. All right. Up next is Reese Maston. Good night.
Axel, look, we'll get to you later. Last song of the year. Can have some reggae in a minute.
Now, look, I thought we were through with this shit, but apparently not.
So did I. Yes.
Reese Maston won the 3rd series of the X Factor Australia in 2011.
Oh, he won, did he?
Yeah, he was the winner.
I thought he was a runner-up. Okay.
Won that. This is his first single. It's fucking terrible.
Sure.
And he hasn't done anything of note for close to a decade. Sorry, that's not entirely true. His 2015 track, Even Angels Cry, made it to 124 on the ARIA charts, so there you go. Imagine being in the studio with this dude as he records Even Angels Cry and being too much of a pussy to say bro. That's a fucking terrible song name. Yeah. Even Angels Cry? Christ. That was released as the 3rd album's lead single via a Twitter campaign, which drew thousands of retweets of album snippets that people loved the most. So people retweeted that this is the song snippet they'd liked the most as the next single to be released. Seems they didn't bother taking the time out or the next step of actually listening to the full song in any format, as it couldn't even crack the top 100.
Yeah, professional journalists on major news organisations take that as an example of what the value of a fucking tweet from some random twat is worth.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
right.
not worth buying a copy of a guy that you've voted on the best part of a song for. So imagine what value it has on real world events.
Yeah, so...
Anyway, but I think he did actually have a couple of other minor hits.
Yeah.
Possibly even another number 1.
Oh, jeez, I hope
but
not.
we'll see.
Out.
I guess we'll find out. Look,
what did you make of this song?
well, from the point of view of someone born locked into the least imaginative musical mindset possible and permanently 10 years out of date of what's going on in music, like, say, an Australian recording industry executive, for instance, I could imagine looking at this guy and thinking, but maybe a rock and roll Justin Bieber could work.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if we gave him the same haircut. He's 17 at this age.
Yeah.
technically maybe it could work, but if it did, he would probably need to be able to, for instance, actually sing, which is where Reese Maston falls at the first hurdle. The scary part about this is that I'm pretty sure they've used auto-tune in its original intended sense here, and he still sounds like off-key arse.
Yeah.
I mean, then again, he was only 17 at this point, so it's quite possible that he was still going through fucking puberty. I mean, I sounded like Mr. Bean until I was about 19, so maybe I shouldn't be throwing stones in that department. But yeah, then again, I didn't try and get on the fucking pop charts.
You weren't trying to be a mainstream musician.
No. Look.
So the song itself, like, how would you describe this? Does it fit into pop punk, or is it just shitty pop rock?
It's sort of, I'd say it's pop rock.
Yeah.
With that sort of fake, let's get back to business kind of rock attitude that served Shannon Noll so well.
Oh, look, it is fucking hot garbage. I think that's safe to say. This is definitely not for everyone, or probably for anyone. Look, in 2015, Tom, Maston appeared on the ABC show Tattoo Tales.
Ah, yes.
On the show, they referred to the Maston curse, as everyone on the show, in that particular tattoo parlour, who had tattooed Reese in the past, ultimately ended up getting fired. So if you tattooed Reese, you'd get fired in the end.
Sure.
Sounds like a great horror film, wouldn't it? Except everyone that tattoos Reese Maston dies. I think that'd be a great film. You tattoo him, and then maybe the tattoo jumps off the arm and attacks you. I'm not sure.
There was an X-Files episode.
Still a work in progress. So the 20-year-old singer at the time appeared on the series, which is filmed Bondi Inc., Bondi Beach in Australia, so it's going to be good. And he got the design of his grandfather wearing Indian war makeup and a wolf headdress. Now, to the best of my knowledge, his grandfather is not Native American in any way, shape or form. Is that a good tattoo?
Yeah.
Granddad, I'm getting a wolf fucking...
I have a feeling he probably didn't ask his granddad first about whether he wanted to be either a tattoo or a fucking Native American.
Yeah.
Even his granddad would probably be like, dude, that's a bit off these days, isn't it? I saw a thing about it on YouTube. But yeah. Look, I mean, he was born in Scunthorpe in the UK, possibly the shittest name for a town in the world. So
his dad might be Native American.
Yeah. Well, he's not really Australian either, and I'm sick of these bloody Poms coming over here and taking our jobs on reality TV.
Yeah.
Not that I would ever go on X Factor, I'd rather push radioactive wasps up my nose. But we can produce our own annoyingly precocious teenagers here, thanks Reese, by the way. And I'm calling him that in an attempt to annoy him because he cleverly changed his name from Reese Maston to just Maston as a way, I think, of deflecting from his X Factor days originally. So, yeah, nobody will crack that devious code.
Yep.
In case you're wondering what he got up to after this, let me say that this will not be the only time we'll hear from Reese, I think. Hopefully his next song will be better than this low wattage pop rock stuff. I mean, I guess it's not produced by Dr. Luke or 2 Days in the Valley and contains instruments, so that makes it original by 2011 standards, but that's a pretty low bar. And Reese runs right into that bar at face height, knocking himself unconscious and doing a wee.
Yeah, no, exactly. Look,
yeah, it's pretty bad.
Now, look, as you said, Tom, he did that thing where he did change his name to Maston. Now, and look, I think you're probably right. I think he probably did it, and we had someone last week, a few weeks ago, that wanted to distance themselves from their X Factor
He said it had actually ruined his career.
The other guy said that, yeah. So he wanted to do that.
Although that was the same guy who wrote Feels Like Woe. So, I'm not sure whether it could have really hurt his career.
But I think if you're changing your name, Tom, for either, for distancing yourself from X Factor or for whatever, the question is, is the change from Reese Maston to Maston, is that distancing yourself enough from X Factor? Because I don't think it is. I think what you need to do is you need to choose a name that's either really interesting or engaging, that people go, I'm enticed by that name, or it needs to be so different that it's sort of like, I really have no idea who this is. I listen to the music, I like it, and then I get into that, and then go, I didn't expect that for him.
Or I guess you've got to change your whole shtick, like your style of music and your appearance and your whole look.
Yeah.
So much that people wouldn't naturally associate the two with each other. You know,
Exactly.
they wouldn't think, oh, that's probably the same guys.
Yeah.
But Mastin, Mastin, is not the most typical surname.
No.
It's not, you know.
For sure.
If
Now-
it was Jones, then you'd like, well, that's not necessarily the same guy, but...
Exactly.
you know,
Look, he hasn't said, my name's Reese Mastin, I'm going to go the full Johnny Diesel and change my name to that. And Johnny Diesel is a good one because, you know, it's completely different from his actual name of Mark Lizotte. And what I like about Johnny Diesel is he's got his band, The Injectors. That's if your name's Johnny Diesel and your backing band's The Injectors, that's as fucking good as it gets. And what I like about Johnny Diesel as well is he's like, I'm Johnny Diesel, I'm Diesel.
Yeah.
I'm down to that, and I'm also Mark Lizotte. So he'll tour around and he'll change his name from case to case.
Yes.
So his fans will be like, "Oh, I haven't seen Mark Lizotte for a while," and they'll go to the show and go, "Oh no, that's right. I actually saw Diesel 2 weeks ago at this same venue. He's just doing the same bullshit." But you know, so he tricks people into coming to see him again,
Maybe
which is
that's
great.
what Shannon Knoll
So,
needs to do.
yeah.
He needs to change his name to Gary Bundaberg in
Yeah.
the shot glass havers. Or something
yeah,
like that.
I completely agree. So with Reese Mastin, now look, he's failed here, hasn't he? Because A, Mastin is not interesting.
Yes.
So he's failed on that front of having
Yeah.
something interesting that engages people.
B.
2, it's just called Mastin, which reminds people of Reese Mastin.
not
so
different
it hasn't
enough.
exactly.
So, yeah.
It's not different enough. So what he does is he needs something that I think is bold, forward thinking. It's a name change that's going to entice people. It's going to get people interested in his music. It's going
Yep.
to get people to come along and check him out because it is something that's completely different from his other material. Which is why if I was him, I would have changed my name to Masturbator. Now, I think that would have been unique. It stands out. And as someone personally, I couldn't give a flying fuck about any of his music. But if I'd heard that Reese Mastin had changed his name to Masturbator, I'd be there front row next show going, what's this guy going to do? What's it going to be? It should be interesting. It should be exciting. It should entice the
Yes.
audience. It should tickle their fancy. Now, we haven't done a Kickstarter or any sort of crowdfunding on this show, Tom, but I think we should reach out to Reese Mastin's people and say, how much money for Reese Mastin Mastin. How much name for Mastin to change his stage name to Masturbator for a full calendar year? They give us the sum.
Yeah.
We reach out to our fans, get that through crowdsourcing, give it to Reese. He has to change his name to Masturbator for a year. And then we see at the end of that, that might actually help his career. Is he getting more people to shows? Is he getting more money? Is he getting more downloads? So I think that's, what I would have done. Certainly not Mastin. That shit's whack.
There's one other option. It's like,
Yep.
I mean, he could... I mean, this would be a new experiment in music, but he could change his name to Reese Masturbating, say, using the first and last
Reese
syllables of his surname,
Yep.
and then claim that Reese Masturbating was a parody singer who was taking the piss out of, X Factor artists such as Reese Mastin, and then see whether it was possible to get more musical credibility being a parody of himself than actually an X Factor winner.
Definitely. It's a
whether
tightrope act to sort of...
you got a
get
better
that right.
reception at a country pub being someone cruelly mocking yourself than your actual self.
If he called himself Reese Masturbator and got up there and just performed Reese Mastin songs,
Yep.
it's sort
But
of
with
like
the lyrics
a jokey
changed
sort
to,
of...
yeah.
I think it works. It works for me, definitely. So, food for thought for Reese.
A lot of career options there.
I think whatever manager said, just change it to Mastin. I hope they're fired. I hope they're fucking
Yeah,
dead. That's atrocious.
That's a terrible
It's atrocious,
idea.
yep. You got to change your name to either, something real out there, or, I don't know, whatever. Dude sucks, song sucks, it's all shit. Lyrical highlights.
This was written by DNA Songs along with Hayley Warner, a fellow Idol participant who was lost in one of the early rounds, but went on to become one of Australia's most successful songwriters. She went from writing this, which was her first hit, all the way up to the dizzying heights of world-famous artists like Jay Waitford, Regan Derry, Callum Scott and JoJo, before in 2017 reaching what some would call the pinnacle of songwriting achievement, a song for Nickelback.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, lyrics she came up with here, such as, I'm just looking for a good night, oh, I'm not looking for the right time, no, what I really want to do is shut you up, because all you do is talk and that's enough. Now, what the fuck does that mean? Who cares?
Yes.
I'll give Hayley credit because she's seen the songwriting on the wall, and it's saying that if you want Katy Perry or Nickelback to buy your song, you need a big, fat, dumb, shouty chorus that drunk people can yell, framed in a vaguely oppositional context that teenagers will respond to, because the world's against you when you're a teenager, just like how your stepdad won't upgrade your iPhone. Oh my god, he's such a loser, you don't even know.
Yep.
And in that sense, and in only that sense, this song does work, I think. With just that chorus of, I'm just looking for a good night, oh, I'm not looking for the right time, no. You know, I reckon that's what got this to number one. Again, we're talking, it's just shouty choruses at this point. That's all we've got happening.
Absolutely. That's great.
That's my
Reese.
theory.
No, I love it. Really good. So yeah, actually, Tom, after this for one more week was LMFAO with Sexy on a Night. They came back another week after that.
Did.
And then the year was wound out with 2 more weeks of Reese Maston Goodnight again. So
it's a real shit off, isn't it? Jesus
absolutely,
Christ.
for the end of 2011. So that's all the songs. Tom, the biggest song of the year not to reach number one was Maroon 5, Moves Like Jagger. So it could have been worse. It could have been so much worse.
God, now you're forcing me to do mental arithmetic of, is that worse than Reese Maston and Red Foo?
It is difficult because Moves Like Jagger is fucking
bad.
abysmal.
Yeah.
But
I think it might be better than LMFAO on points. But even then, I mean, God, that's a tough one. Fucking hell. Well, best song of the year obviously is Gautier, because it's the only one that's a real fucking song pretty much. Everything else was either a copy of something else or a copy of a copy of a copy of something else.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, exactly.
Except maybe Adele, which is, you know...
Yeah, that's a real
That's
song.
something else. But yeah, there's so many huge ones this year. All great big 2-month-long hits and stuff. I mean,
Absolutely.
You know,
Look,
it's interesting. Is this
we'll
the
be
way
back.
of the future?
We'll be back next week.
Sure.
Probably not next week, to be honest. It takes me a lot longer to write these notes these days. But we'll be back in due course with 2012.
Yes.
So look out for that.
Sure.
Was that one of the years that people predicted the world would end? Was that one of the ones?
Yeah,
there seemed to be a few
one,
going around at the time.
Yeah, the Aztec calendar. I think
Yep.
there was an awesome John Cusack film that heaps of people definitely went to see named about that.
Good. Safe to say it didn't, which is fortunate because we got to listen to some great songs next week. I'm sure it'll be all good. All right, thanks for listening. Go on to the Instagram page. There'll just be a photo on there. You can send us a PM on there if you want to ask us any questions or
And
do
if you
some
want
bullshit.
to travel back in time 2 hours and follow along with the actual music, then there's the YouTube links in the description. There'll be a YouTube playlist.
Yeah, you can watch all the bullshit clips on there as well.
I should have said that at the start and I forgot, but
It's all good. All right. Thank you.
see ya. I can't resist that big red button.
Oh, it's hard to not
I got it working again.
Yeah, exactly.